who's here? Hey, Paladin, how are you? I actually wonder if this echo is gonna be better. You know?
Is there enough?
Well, because of the vaulted ceilings now,
Right.
I can totally hear myself.
Yes.
Hey, Desperado. Yes, long time no see. Except it's only like we only skipped what, one stream basically.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's been a month or something. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm in full grandma mode today because it's damn cold outside. We're in Illinois now, so like yesterday, I guess it got to like, I don't know, negative 40s, 50s, something like that at night. I don't know, we choose to live here. I'd rather be too cold than too hot though, gotta be honest. So I got like 3 layers on, got my glasses going on, so I look way grandma. Hopefully that's alright. Hi Sniggle, hi Kristen. Long, hi!
Long.
How you doing, man? Dang. How you been? How's everybody been braving the weather? You okay? Anybody have any stories about it? Sniggle! 16 months. Shit. That's crazy. Thank you, Sniggle. I don't have the sub-shrub yet. I don't know if I can show you if you'll see this. Let me see if you'll see this. Let me see all the boxes. Okay, so yeah, we're still not unpacked, obviously. We just unpacked the essentials, so right now it's like just computer stuff and work stuff, but I'm so sick of moving. So I think this time my approach is just unpack it all. If I gotta move again, that's so absurd that it's like I'd rather just throw everything out. I'm so done moving. It's stupid. So we're not gonna hopefully have to do that again. I hope not. Maybe.
Done.
Oh yeah. I know. Thank you, Kitchen. I'm glad too. Yeah, long for sure. Oh, it's only been in the 30s? Oh man. The 30s are warm. Next week though, this is crazy. So like I said, like this week, it's been negative 50s in some times, you know? Worst case scenario. But then next week, it's supposed to be 50. That's also unheard of for like Midwest temps at this time of year. Like February, 50s? Here? No. It doesn't make any sense. Things are going crazy. The world's dying. Oh, Paladin! Thank you! Appreciate this sub, man. Hopefully now I can have the time to get those emojis back up, but oh my god. The past couple months have been ridiculous. Like absolutely ridiculous. For those of you who have braved like through it with us, you know, you've heard. It's been crazy. So I don't even know how to feel about the fact like it's gonna start not being crazy and it's gonna be normal. I feel like I'm gonna have PTSD from this. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get a follow?
No, I just have
Close your OBS or turn off your sound,
my
dude.
sound. I mean, somebody is. I think somebody is.
Gabe can't think right now, so
What's
we're
it
gonna
called?
just move on.
When you when you're streaming somebody else, host. I think somebody's hosting me right now.
That's nice. I'm currently pretty much in the United States of North America. Wow. Window open. Kitchen, what? Soak some up for me, homie. Hey, Jazzy. What's up? Had my hand out of a glove smearing for seconds. Yeah, so at the worst case scenario, they were saying, at least back in Minnesota where it's actually the worst, they were saying that you can get frostbite in under 5 minutes because it was colder than Antarctica. So that's bad, you know, but that's okay, Lung. That was Lung doing that.
Oh.
Hey, Ashley, what's up? So I've got 3 commissions I'm technically working on right now. My pet and armor ones. Can you guys hear me okay? We have the microphone in like a middle ground, but it's still like 4 feet away. Can you hear me all right? Yeah, freezing hellscape. We choose to live here. Hi, Porky. What's up? Oh. What is the creep, Jazzy? Alright, so this one's not very far yet. I'm happy about the composition so far, but I gotta flesh it out more. I don't know if I want to do that on stream because this is a lot of thinking. So I was thinking maybe tightening this up. This is almost there, and then starting to color it. But I think I might actually do this one on stream. Because this one, all the line art's ready. Oh, but I do really want to scan that. Oh, that's going to be loud as hell. I gotta scan it though. Gabe? Do you want to help me for a minute? You guys, I'm gonna have to mute the mic because the mic is right next to the scanner. And I don't want you to die. Can you very, very gingerly, carefully put that in loose? And, he should be fine. I'm gonna mute it real quick, okay? Okay, so wait, you guys are saying there's an actual echo? Can you hear an actual echo? Cats? Oh my god, these ones are named. Meow Meow and Shuffles. Yeah. I gotta check the email real quick though. When I do my file names, I make sure they're pretty thorough, so like I say what the animal is, I say what their names are, I say what the owner's names are. Just so if I need to find it, I can find it super quick. Okay, so it's Meow Meow and Shuffles. Difference.
Is it a real one?
Huh?
Is it a real echo?
People are saying they can hear reverb, so
Huh.
I mean, not full-blown echo, but a reverb. Okay. Is it annoying, though? I don't want it to be annoying. I could move the mic closer, and we might have less of that. Yeah, we got bigger rooms. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Oh, Jazzy, yeah, I understand. The creep, yeah. Hey, Kitchen, if they're still in good condition, you could do a giveaway, you know? That's always a good way to get some people. Hey, Glitter! Let's see. Oh, it's nitpicky? Okay. Because I was just gonna move it a little bit. Thanks, Nightshade. It's full-blown grandma mode. You know how cold it is, so I'm layered. I got grandma going. I don't know where my contacts are right now. They're in a box somewhere. I don't know. So, our move, it was kind of crazy. We moved Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Boy, did we pick a bad day to move. the beginning of the day, it took about 8 hours for Gabe and his brother to load everything onto the truck. I was lucky this time because I had dog duty, so I just had to basically babysit her. But I also was like delegating what went next and would take things to the door, make it easier for them, stuff like that. So I still did lifting. But it took them about 8 hours. We started at 7 a.m. 8 hours of packing into the truck, right? We had a 26-foot truck, okay? And then we drove down in 3 different cars from Wisconsin, upper-ish Wisconsin, to Illinois. I don't know what part of Illinois we're in. I never know where I am anymore. We're in Illinois now, but it was like a 4-hour drive. So what sucked was it was still negative temperatures, like the whole day negative temperatures, right? I think it was like -7 at the time, something like that. Throughout that morning, never really warmed up. And then we did the drive. I had the car that had the dog and the hamster and like the expensive computer stuff. So that was my car. Gabe had the truck, and then his brother had other electronics and things that couldn't really be in the cold. So that was a harder thing to plan for. Is if you think moving is difficult just normally, imagine where you'd have to plan so your electronics and stuff couldn't be exposed to negative temperatures because it can be bad for them, stuff like that. Same with art supplies. Any of our paints and stuff, we had to make sure they were in certain areas and things like that. And that was a spin on the old, thing. So this was the hardest move I think we've ever done. And I've moved 16 times in my life. We counted the other night for fun. And this was definitely the hardest. And then there was a snowstorm that started maybe about an hour in, somewhere along there. So for 3 hours, and I took back roads because we only have one thing for the toll booths. So I gave that to Gabe so he could just straight shot it. But I took the back roads, and there ended up being like 3-4 inches, something like that, the whole rest of the time we were driving. And then we got to Illinois at like 8 o'clock, okay? Or at least I did. Oh, Gabe did too. And then we were unpacking all the essential stuff that couldn't be out in the cold until midnight. In negative temperatures still. And then we got lucky though, because it was on a Saturday. We were able to keep the truck until like Monday. So we left it in the street and weren't forced to do it overnight or anything like that, like unpacking stuff, because Gabe, his whole body was shot, his brother's body was shot. The next day, it was still really cold, still negatives, but his family came to help. His sister, his mom and dad, and that was really cute. So it's been a ride, man. And now I'm stressing, all the time that I miss doing that instead of these things. And then I also have a convention coming up on the 14th, 15th of February, somewhere in there. So I'm kind of freaking out. Not only that, but oh my God, you guys, you know how we told you about the company we used for our books? And that, make your books, use this company, blah, 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 they're great. They got bought by Vistaprint, and now they don't offer the same things they used to. So I have no way to buy my books anymore, and I'm getting low on quantity, so I'm freaking out. Gabe's been trying to find another one, but I have cons coming up, and if I don't have books, what am I going to sell other than prints, commissions, and original art? Like, I need books. So, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Sorry, let me catch up in chat. Nightshade, what have you had to do for your bees lately? Because I doubt they can keep warm in negative temperatures, can they? Yeah, Sniggle, it's going to be a while till we're fully unpacked. Luckily, though, we have a shipping room now. So we have a place to put all our shipping supplies, which before, having those in like an apartment is ridiculous. It's crazy. All right, Mai, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. You lurk away. Hi, Mike. Yeah, can you guys hear her snoring? Yeah, she's on the ground. She's snoring. I feel like she's doubled in size since we got her. She's huge. No, I've never lived here, Ashley. I am from Minnesota, so usually I'm used to a lot more cold than this. A lot of my friends were in Minnesota in the negative 60s and stuff. Like, what you can do is you can dip all your clothes in like water, soak them, take them outside, and they'll immediately start freezing. So then you actually sculpt them and look like they're people that like got taken by the rapture or something. Like they're just invisible people walking around. It's really cool, but it's creepy too. But yeah. Hey, Meltsu. Yes, Amkey, Ashley. Yep. Vistaprint does suck, so that's why I'm upset. Not only that, but I mean they don't even offer the same things they offered before with Printy. So I'm really confused because Printy wrote an email saying we've been acquired by Vistaprint, blah blah blah. We're no longer in the U.S. All that crap, and it's they're like, oh yeah, anything you need, go to Vistaprint for. We go there though, and they don't have the same book options at all. So I'm guessing they must have lost a contract or something with whoever they were using to print the books, because it's just Vistaprint books now, and they don't even have custom sizes. So that sucks. I'm really upset. So this has just been stupid.
What?
The book situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, Vistaprint's cards and stuff, Desperado, I'm sorry to say, they are the worst I've ever gotten. Every time I've given them another shot, if you want legit business cards, go to moo.com. But if you want some that you can kind of throw away and get a whole bunch for cheap, like I have two kinds of business cards I always order. One set, I order maybe 50 to 100 really, really nice cards that'll last me a long time. Those ones you shell out a little money for, but those ones you only give to prospective, like people that can hire you, things like that. The other ones I get like 2,500 of when I go to cons and stuff. I call them drive-by cards. They're really cheap. They still look pretty good, but they're still cheap, and they're meant for the people who literally drive by your table and just take a card. So you don't want them to be expensive. You just want them to have the information at their fingertips, that sort of thing. But those ones I get at gotprint, I think .com. I know it sounds shady, but it's worked. So I get like 2,500 of those. But
it's I would say it's almost worth it. Like getting not if you're like a beginner, but like the prices that they have there. Like if you get 1,000, you'll probably never run out.
Really good prices. Yeah. I think. But yeah, you probably don't need 2,500 if you're you, and like just starting off, but you could at least get probably 100 for not very expensive.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I think the downside to the Vistaprint ones is that they like if you get the really really cheap ones, they feel cheap, and then you
can bend them and stuff. Like
they put Vistaprint on the back or even on the front or wherever.
Yeah, they put a watermark on it, which is totally jank.
It's just like whenever I get one of those cards from someone, I'm like, oh honey,
yeah,
let's have a talk.
I mean, if we care enough, we'll talk with them, but otherwise. But yeah, it sucks because they have all their commercials. I've started to learn that a lot of the things that have commercials are bad. Like Vistaprint has commercials, and I'm like, you're just misleading people super hardcore. So I don't know. Keep searching for places. Once in a while, try a place. Ask around, things like that. But yeah, Gotprint way better for higher quantities of cards. Because like Vistaprint's best card is basically what their worst card is. So.
Oh yeah, mate, you got it right in the head. It's like the trial version of an app.
Yeah. Oh, Taekwondo, have fun,
Oh
Kristen.
yeah, Kristen.
That's gotta be really cute, seeing them do the Taekwondo. Yes, Sniggle, we are exhausted. You're right. I actually have been getting good sleep lately. We're on the puppy schedule, so Gabe gets up at 3 a.m., I get up at 6 a.m., and then Gabe gets up at 9 a.m., and then I get up at like around 10. So we each, I think, get around 7 to 8 hours, right? You do, right?
Yeah, 6 to 7.
It's just a little bit choppy. But we get good sleep. It's just we're tired. Like, I still don't know what day it is. I am still wrapping my head around the fact that we've almost been here a week. Did you know that?
It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we just got here 2 days ago. Like, my mind is just mush. Total mush. And I had other, like, deadlines. That's the only way I know what day it is. I had a couple deadlines recently with one of my jobs, and that helped, you know. But, yeah, we are tired. It is. Moltar, thank you. It's Thursday. Yes. Moltar, were you in that that email blast I sent out about Gen Con orders being pushed? Were you in that? I'm trying to remember. Because my Gen Con... Okay, good. Because my Gen Con orders, I had to split up into two when I was there. I realized that I couldn't keep up with the original ETA I had, so I did half people at, like, I think it was 4 to 6 month. 4 to 6 month ETA, and the other half I gave them a year. So I couldn't remember if you were in the 4 to 6 month or the year, but now you know why it's been pushed a bit. I want you to have a thing. You should, if you wanted one of the prints, let me know, okay? Because I will, that was part of it. You give me more time, I give you a print. That's part of it. I feel bad that I can't keep up with my estimates sometimes, but moving 3 times has been crazy. I'm not gonna even mention it anymore. Yep, I remember Moltar, you've got both. The other one I'm probably going to end up emailing you about needing more info. I know you gave me a little blurb, but once I start working on it, I'm sure I'll think of some other things. No wall space, oh no. Where are we now? We're in Illinois now. So, I thought it'd be warmer. It's not. Coming from Minnesota to Wisconsin, I noticed a little bit of a warm thing. I don't know. It was a little warmer when I moved there, but now, obviously, I can't tell if it's warmer here yet because it's fucking cold. Alright, so right now I'm going to get the references of these cats so I can start actually drawing them so you guys can watch me do something instead of rant. I think the past 3 streams I've had, I've just ranted. Sorry about that. I mean, what else is Twitch for other than watch people and to rant, right? I do, Emily, and I have 2 other shirts on under this. It's a really nice, cute poncho. I got it in England in a consignment shop. It was like £5 or something. Mukbang. Okay. Shuffles. This cat's name is Shuffles. It is nippy in Chicago. I thought it was cool. There was an article about the fact that they have to set all the railroad tracks on fire to keep them from condensing and changing shape for the trains, because in the cold things condense, especially if you've got like water inside of concrete, and that's how you get concrete cracks, things like that. I told your sister this, she didn't know this. That like that's why houses creak and stuff, because they expand and contract, things like that. But for the railroad tracks, they had to keep them lit on fire, so you can actually Google Chicago fire railroad tracks and see these pictures. It looks pretty cool. I actually like it. But yeah, it's been cold. Alright. So Shuffles and Meow Meow.
Look, it's Meow Meow.
Meow Meow. Meow Meow. Meow. I don't even think she ever said it the right way. That's true. I heard they let a lot of homeless people in there to keep them warm too. And someone apparently, there's a whole thing where, I guess a homeless camp or something burned down or got lit on fire by some means. Hopefully not the railroad tracks, but like someone actually paid for all those people, those homeless people, to have hotels overnight because their, what little home they had was set ablaze. So that was really nice. Right, Sniggle? Yeah. And apparently, another article I read a lot of stupid things, said that we could actually get, like, Illinois, Chicago earthquakes, which we might hear giant booms and stuff because of the severe weather change. Because this week it was in negative 50s. Next week, on Monday, it's going to be positive 50. That giant change, if you've ever done that with like a glass bowl where it's really hot and you put it in ice water, it explodes, right? I mean, how can that not happen in nature in some facet, right?
So we might explode.
We might explode. So maybe no stream next week if we explode. I don't know. What do you consider dangerous? Is it that bad, Glitter? Let me see. Gabe, do you want to try moving the mic closer to us? Maybe put it on Linda? It's gonna have to. Is that better or worse? Can you hear me better or worse now? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? Is anybody else that guy that when you're in the eye place and they're like 1 or 2, 1 or 2, you're like, again? Sorry, one more time? I'm that guy. I can't do it. Jazzy, we don't have shit yet. Like right now it's just, honestly, it's our boxes. Once our boxes are gone, it might actually be more echoey.
Mm-hmm.
So the only rug we have right now is the dog on the floor. So eventually we're going to get rugs and stuff, but you guys, we moved in like not long ago. We don't have any of that crap. Oh, the music's super boomy. How's that? Is that better? No, it's hardwood floor and like vaulted ceilings, so I'm not surprised it's a little boomy. Okay, so it's better now? A little bit? Okay. Yeah. I took audio class. I know how things can be boomy and stuff like that, and acoustics and how they work. The house is awesome. It's true. I'm digging it pretty hard. It's gonna be good once it's full force. God, the lighting is crazy in here right now. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, we're gonna try to stay in Illinois. Yeah. We keep getting thrown around, which is kind of bleh, but none of the moves we really planned except the first one. The second one we were waiting to do way later, but then, I don't know, we just got kind of, what made us move the second time? Were we just getting impatient and we just wanted a dog?
Well, I think there was an opening. We told them, hey, just keep us in mind, and then they hit us up and they're like, yo, we got an opening.
Yeah, we had talked to the place that allowed dogs to let us know when there was an apartment opening, and Thanks, Glitter. Also, the dog is hilarious. Yeah, hopefully she adds a little bit of pizzazz or something to the stream. Okay. I've got 2 lamps going on for at least my drawing. I know I kind of look like crap, but I don't care about that. We're working on the drawing here. So... we had a puppy cam before we moved. I don't have it set up right now, but if you look at the last stream or 2, you can actually look and see our puppy cam. I could show you right now if you wanted. No. She's down there. There you go. She's just snoozing. She lays on her toys a lot. But, yeah. There's your puppy cam for today. Next week I might have the actual one set up. She's getting into this good zone of like taking her nap when we stream. So, I guess that's good for everybody. This cat on the right is going to be the kind that I'm actually always scared to do. I shouldn't say scared. Not scared, but every time I feel like I'm doing it for the first time, because they have no definitive color. Like for doing a lot of pet fur, you have to look at what their base color is. And this is one of those cats that's like, it's not gray, and it's not like tan. It's got like an over coloring on top of a beige that's got smatterings of other colors, so it can be confusing. Oh, I'm glad, Emily. Yeah, if anybody wants her Instagram, yep, she's a brindle. She does have her own. I've been proud of the recent pictures and videos I put up of her, because she was just so funny and they're silly. Keep your arms warm, have a dog. Yeah, she's a little heater. She's 13 weeks now, and she's over 18 pounds. So she's a big girl. She's a big baby. Alright. Pictures of these cats. What have you guys been up to? That ghost tea, someone bought that. So after that stream, when I had posted it next time online, I put it up for sale and somebody basically nabbed it right away. I was actually really surprised at the response I got on that one. But yeah, that one came and went. For those that don't know, my Patreon, I've got the February monthly Mythical Guardian went up. It's going to be the Groundhog. I mean, some of you may have heard of Groundhog Day, but there is mythos associated with that. Yes, it's ridiculous and kind of crazy, but it's also interesting, and I really like groundhogs. They're really cute. I just didn't want to also do something that was kind of trite, like doing something about art or love. You know, just tons of people are going to be talking about love. Not everybody wants to talk about love. Even if you're in a happy relationship, you don't even want to talk about love sometimes, right? So, I was like, there's going to be enough of that, you know? And I thought about doing the opposite of that and doing something about, like, creatures, you know, mythical creatures that are like anti-love or something, to kind of give at least, you know, some juxtaposition to what would be happening, but then I didn't want to be negative. So I just went and picked something totally on the side, but someone might be curious about. Because I actually learned a lot learning about what Groundhog Day was about, because it's not just what you think it is. I'm not going to give too much away because obviously at the $6 tier you'll see what it's about, but it's interesting. So with that, I give like a little button. This will be a groundhog in a bottle. It'll be cute. And you also get a random button that I throw in that sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're topical to your life if I know you. And then there's a little scroll that I give to that like gives background on it, and I either do like in the past I've done a worksheet featuring the creature, I do a story, or a poem. So it's kind of whatever I feel like doing that suits that thing. So yeah, go from there. It's fun. Groundhog, hut dog. Of his dog. Aw, Jazzy, thank you. Thanks, Kitchen. I would have done like acrylic charms and stuff for that sort of thing, but really, like, that takes so long to do. You guys would not get them on time. I'd have to do them like a year in advance. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do with the simplicity of a button, you know, and just kind of work with what I'm given. And remember, sometimes when you're given guidelines, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it makes you actually get more creative to try to figure out how to do the things you want to do using the constraints you've been given. So sometimes they're a blessing in disguise. But Corey, no, don't be sorry. That's okay. We didn't even stream last week, and I think Gabe didn't stream this week either, so we haven't exactly been present either, but the move was ridiculous. Out of all my 16 moves, it was the most crazy, hard, whatever, and I wasn't even doing the bulk of the work. Gabe and his brother were. So it was very difficult. Negative temperatures, snowstorm, basically anything you can think of. Guys who own trucks being jerks on the road when they shouldn't be driving so fast and going crazy in front of you the whole way, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. At least those of you who live in like snowy areas. When there's a blizzard or a snowstorm, do not be going 60 or 70 and cutting in between people, because it blows up all this, you know, fluff and we can't see, and then, oh my god. It's a thing. I mean, if we want to talk about the weather thing too, I think in August, if I'm still doing the button thing in August, I'm going to do the Woolly Bear Caterpillar, because they also tell the weather, and I've always loved Woolly Bear Caterpillars. I actually, in 8th grade, had a story about a Woolly Bear Caterpillar, because their mythos is about the band that's on their midsection. I called it, "Which Way Will the Weather Go, Woolly Bear?" So it was kind of a tongue twister. It was really cute. I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd. Look at me, I'm a nerd. But the little brown band, depending on where it is, how long it is, it's supposed to tell the winter, you know? And I really like those kind of, I don't know, are they Americana? I think they are. They're like folktales, like Americana folktales.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that fits in with like Johnny Appleseed and like Paul Bunyan and stuff, right? Like that sort of crap. The guy with the railroad tracks, John Henry?
John Henry was a steel driving man.
He was. So that kind of
He was
stuff
real.
Bye, Moltar. Thanks for coming.
He really did that though.
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
How far was from the last place? About 4 hours. So it was a 4-hour drive. For me at least. I did back roads.
A 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
They
They do, Kitchen. They do. Corey, yeah, get mad, right? You feel me. People are crazy. It's like, I feel like if you have a truck, you have like a obligation to be more careful, but I feel like no one ever does. You know, when they've got a truck, they're like, move! I'm the bigger guy, you know?
I think anyone with a car that has 4-wheel drive and they have the ability to drive better in crappy
but I mean,
weather.
like, how do you even gauge how much better you can drive in it? Like, that's because I feel like every snowstorm is different. Like, yeah, maybe one it's just powder, but you don't know if it's got like ice underneath and stuff like that.
No, another like I think sometimes like if you're driving that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just feels like it's easier for you to drive in it.
And that's what's weird. Like, I would always drive careful if I was driving our car, a tiny car, a big car. Like, Gabe, do you want to talk about driving a 26-foot truck?
Oh, it's awful.
Didn't like it?
No. I mean, it was fine, but man, having a lane change, that's when it gets tough.
Oh yeah, I suppose you gotta wait. Put it on like super early, wait for people to move. That's why she's Grandma Bruni. She sleeps and snores like a grandma. Me too, Emily. I mean, okay, here's the trade-off of why this is probably the best place we've ever lived and will ever live. Main reason, Gabe's parents own this house. Like, they bought this house as a secondary house for their kids for whatever situation might arise. Similar to this one. His sister was actually living here. She's a lawyer, and so she makes bank. But her commute is like 2 hours one way, right?
From here, yeah. So it's
From
like
here, there, and so
yeah.
4 hours a day she was commuting from work to here every day. So she was trying to leave here to go get like an apartment in downtown Chicago so she'd be closer to work. So she was trying to leave. We were trying to find a place to get out of the old one. We had to break the lease at the apartment we were at because that place sucked. Like, it went to shit. So we got super lucky with this situation. Like, I can't even tell you how... I don't like using the word blessed because it's so religiously charged, but really it's... I don't know if it's luck. It feels like a blessing. Like, it's, you know, whatever. But, so we were like, yeah, we'll take it over. So now we have as much space as I think we actually need, finally. We've been to other apartments and they never had the amount of space we needed. Even when we had a garage, it was still a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, we needed another room for shipping materials. Like, as artists, and like his family learned this moving us in, like, why do you guys have so much stuff? It's like, well, we're artists, we have to ship stuff. I had things of packing peanuts, you know, things normal people don't really usually have. And, you know, that sort of thing. But, man, we got so lucky with this situation. So, I can't see this not lasting for a while. Knock on wood, you know? Like, I don't want this to go bad, you know? And I don't think it will. Especially since his parents own it. The only thing that could go bad is if we broke up. Then I'd be, you know, having to figure out my own thing again. But I don't see us breaking up. So, you see us breaking up?
Negative.
Okay. So there you go. Let me catch up. Hey, Wade! It's true, Glitter. Every year can be a great year. It's just weird because even if you work hard, some years just shit all over you. Despite your best efforts, you know? But, yeah. Gabe and I are workaholics, and I really hope this year I would love to take a couple days and not do anything related to any sort of work. I haven't had like days off. You guys know this. We work non-stop. And I just, it sucks because when we weren't working, we were moving lately, and it's tiring. It's so tiring. Vanity trucks. Oh yeah, vanity trucks. Good point, Corey. It's so weird. So weird. We are, Wade. I'm wearing 3 shirts right now. We're trying. The only thing that I get really scared about with this cold is the puppy. She's got a cute sweater. Look at her Instagram. It's adorable. But we put on her sweater, we scoop her up, we take her out to a spot, we plop her down, she goes, we pick her back up. I don't want her walking around, potentially getting frostbite, anything like that, so. Oh, it's crazy, Sniggle. Have you guys ever seen, like, in a snowstorm or something, someone go off-road and, like, get in an accident? It's scary. That happened to me once. It was really scary. No, Desperado. It turns out they covered their butts in the lease okay enough. I still think there are holes that are like, well, what did you mean by this? But I don't have a lawyer degree, so apparently that was fine how they did it. But a majority of the stuff that went wrong was verbal, and a lot of promises she made was verbal. So I think going forward, any sort of legal anything I do, I'm going to bring a voice recorder, because I'm not happy about that. Yeah, me too, Emily. And it's really nice because you guys know, the ones that have been here for a while, I don't believe in owning houses. And I still don't, for the most part. I think it fits some people's situations, but not everyone's, and I don't think anyone should feel pressured to own a house. What's nice, though, is renting a house, especially when his parents are landlords and his dad is hungry to fix stuff. That's a great situation. That's one I'm proud to be at a house for. But if I weren't, because I used to own a house, it was a foreclosure, I paid $180,000 for it. It was in a neighborhood, like pretty nice, and I hated it. It was awful. Owning a house then was awful. So depending on, you know, if you're freelance, if you've got a career, what kind of money you make, what kind of living situation you need, you know, we were happy just being in an apartment. The problem was the space. That was the only problem. Otherwise, you know, it's good now, you know, but that's the only situation I would have a house under is the one we're under now. Otherwise, I would never buy a house again. Ever. Yes, Sniggle it was. Kitchen, we have. I've gotten her about 4 or 5 pairs of boots and or socks and have had to return them all. She's not the type that can do that, so. Not all dogs and stuff can wear booties. Bye, Glitter!
She got some, like, she got tube legs. Like, they don't.
Yeah, bulldogs are built a little differently. They basically slip off as she's walking. We really are, Emily. Seriously. I'm so happy about it. And what's interesting is the house is in a situation where they bought it and they want to fix it up to be able to eventually sell it someday, right? So his dad really has all these ideas for the projects he wants to do, and he is actually a proactive man. Like, a lot of people aren't that get fixer-uppers and stuff, but Gabe's dad is hardcore, as hard, if not harder of a worker than Gabe, right? So I guess that runs in the family. But he will do all the things he says he's gonna do, so that's cool. Yeah, I tried to even get her these baby socks that had, like, her paws are big, so we wanted to get, you know, that part has to be big, but then it has to actually, like, elastic really hard on the top part of her. So I got elastic bands. I also made some from some baby clothes and had some gauze as a tie. That one worked probably the best, but I don't want to have to sit down and tie 4 of those every time she goes out just to pee. So it ends up being easier just to take her out, plop her down, pick her up. But she's okay otherwise. It's gonna be all white. Yeah. And then his paws are white. Okay. His tail. Yeah, believe me, I don't just say, oh well, this doesn't work. I try a bunch of things. Sometimes I waste money trying a bunch of things, and that gets me a little angry. I don't like wasting money. But at the same time, you figure out what works, what doesn't work. So we just got to the point where we tried so many different things that we figured out, well, these just aren't working, you know, in any facet. Like, we tried Velcro, I tried tying them, I tried elastic. Just nothing was working. So I figure as long as I gave it a go. What's even more weird is Petco only had one type of dog booty that was actually insulated for cold. All the other ones were like rain booties. And I was like, I don't need rain booties right now, you guys. I mean, they were winter booties, but at the same time, they were like heavy duty. They looked like they were meant for like a German Shepherd or something. Right? Like they were overkill. Yeah. They look like a toddler boot. Crazy. No, they're always going to be thick, Sniggle. If anything, they're going to get thicker. Bulldogs are very dense all the way through. Just all the way, even in here. But so it makes them great. So the over-the-shoulder sleeves. What's funny about that is if you ever have to give a bulldog a diaper, they have to wear suspenders. Because I follow a lot of bulldog rescues, and a lot of the time they have swimmer's disease, which makes it so they can't go to the bathroom on their own, so they have diapers. So what a lot of people do is they put suspenders on their dog, crisscross them at the top so it stays around their neck because they don't have shoulders really either, let alone necks. So it's a thing. It's a whole thing. It's cute though. I mean, I assume pugs are the same way. You'd have to do the same thing for pugs. All these brachycephalic breeds that have like really dense, choppy bodies, you know, chunky, so chunky. Yeah, it would have to be like, if I did really want to keep pursuing it, I'd probably have to get her like those straps kind of that guys in the 40s would hold up their socks with and like put them over her shoulders. Like I'd have to make a contraption. Thanks, Critter. What's up? Dogs do it for like Sniggle. It's true. That's the other thing. It's like whatever you devise, you have to do that times 4 every time they go outside. And puppies go out about once an hour. So would you want to do that? It's a lot. It's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot just taking her out. Luckily at night though, she sleeps pretty hard. So no mucho? I don't think that's not correct in Spanish, right? No mucho?
No.
No.
I mean, unless they accidentally put no. Otherwise, then it's okay.
I'll assume you meant you'd like my style. So thank you. I appreciate that. It would be really fun, Sniggle. I agree with you on that. My ex-husband actually, like one of his dreams was to just design Lego kits. He's an engineer. He made a lot of money. And one of the things he wanted to do was design Lego kits. And he eventually learned that you can't, basically, as an American, if you want to work for Lego, you have to like go live in Denmark or something, like they're in Denmark. I don't know.
I think they're starting to open up that to like Legoland, but yeah, you still gotta
like to work for the legit company.
Yeah, not for the legit company, but yeah, they have like they do have like Lego engineers like at the Legolands and shit, the big one.
Which big one? Because I'm sure they don't have it at Mall of America.
No, the California one, like the actual theme park.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't get much like leeway on what they can do. But yeah, like an actual set. No.
Yeah, he actually like looked up what you gotta do.
Though nowadays, like if you get enough votes on their website, like the Voltron one, that was a fan. Yeah, that was a fan made one.
But that was one of those things. Like, I mean, if you're like going into that cold and trying to get that kind of, you know, response, good luck. You know, you've kind of got to be known for that already or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant not much. I see. I read it as a complete sentence because there's no punctuation. My apologies. Who's here? Who is it? Who is it?
Can I help you? Oh, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
Was it?
Delivery.
Package?
Yeah.
Why did they actually knock on the door?
I don't know. Like they probably just saw me sitting there.
Oh.
Or maybe they just like knock on the door or whatever.
I'm glad they didn't bring it to the other door. We can't get to the other door.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's locked. Tell them to go away, it's cold. Hey man, I got mad respect for anybody delivering anything lately. The past 2 days it's been so cold they actually canceled the mail. The federal mail.
Apparently not Amazon.
Well, today it's not canceled.
No.
So, but they canceled the damn mail.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude was like bundled up like shit.
Yeah, so I have mad respect for those guys.
But yeah, he was.
Gabe, that's probably really
Yeah,
loud.
sorry. I was like, "Can I help you?" Because he was walking away as I went up,
Yeah.
and I thought it was my dad at first, and I was like, "Oh no, oh no,
Why?
he's gonna
'Cause
see
I'm
the
dressed
mess
like
outside."
An elf?
Huh?
Because I'm dressed like an elf?
No. Because like there's a couple of like frozen poops outside because
Oh.
it's been way too cold out for us to like pick them up
Yeah.
because they freeze like immediately. So we're like, all right, we'll just pick them up when it gets a little warmer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, he's gonna see the poops and he's gonna get mad at me. And as I'm walking over there, he's walking away, and I'm like, what?
Well, at least you didn't go, Dad.
Yeah, right. No, and it looked like he was wearing that like that one piece.
Oh, the mechanic getup.
The mechanic getup that he
Cute.
wears. It looked like it.
Gabe's dad is adorable, by the way. He's an adorable old Mexican man that when we invited him over to help move, because he was apparently so bored, he wanted to help us move. So we said, yeah, and he came over, and he's wearing like this really cute, like full getup. Like he's wearing like because he usually does that sort of stuff anyway, so he's serious. He was bundled up about it.
It's like a one-piece mechanic suit.
It was so cute.
But yeah,
he was having so much fun.
So I went out there and thought it was him, and it looked like he was walking away. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see as clear.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like he was walking away, and I'm like, what does he want? What do you want me to do? It's gonna take me like a minute to put on clothes. I thought he was going out so he could show me something out further.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it's not
That's
him.
not my dad.
And then I opened the door and I'm like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, the package." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay," because I wasn't looking down at the floor at all.
Is that your thing?
My,
my thing.
I'm assuming it's mine.
Look at the front. It had a picture.
Yeah, it's my thing.
Okay. My thing's still there. Bye, Mage.
Holy crap! I'm hungry. Ow!
Oh, they didn't even cancel it in Kansas? That's crazy. Gabe, you gotta be more quiet. You're going to the red.
Sorry.
They're gonna freak out. Oh man, kitchen. You should put up like pictures of that on Instagram.
Oh yeah, kitchen. Kitchen, you had to work too in some harsh conditions, right?
Yes, Sniggle, he comes back. The Bigfoot was out there. It was the Bigfoot. Okay, Bigfoot doesn't exist. He was here! You're calling me a liar?
Said my name.
You brought us a package. Bigfoot brought us a package. Yes! He was here. Oh, hi, honey. You waking up? Oh, you got some schmuck. Aw. She is the most fussy sleeper, though. She reorients herself all the time. Like, if she's cuddling with me, she'll lay down, she'll try it for like 30 seconds, and then she'll reorient herself again, reposition, like 4 more times. You keeping an eye on her?
Yeah. Honey, what are you doing?
She's traveling.
Where you going?
When puppies wake up,
You wanna go potty?
after they play, all this stuff, after they eat, you gotta take them out. Because they basically have to go to the bathroom every time.
I see you. Anyone sees you? Come on. I see you standing there. Shake that ass.
Shake that ass.
I see you, baby. Okay.
Back to bed. Never
All right.
mind. False alarm.
Reset the clocks.
Cancel the apocalypse for now. For now. Okay. You're a dork. Shut up.
What?
Oh, this cat has like amber eyes. Ooh. Handsome man. It's weird because a lot of the dwarf class cats I've done, they're always really long haired like a Maine Coon, and also like usually orange. They're usually orangies. Oh, she's doing that mouth thing. If you guys hear some lip smacking, that's the dog too. Did you want the chicken mouths tonight?
Oh yeah.
That sound good?
Oh yeah.
I think we have enough pasta. Pasta. Kitchen. No, go through them, pick them up one by one. If they spark joy, keep them. If they don't, thank them for their service and get them away. Thank you, Marie Kondo. It's funny because I was already kind of doing that stuff. Like, I was the weird kid that was obsessed with thinking that inanimate objects had feelings. I don't like to tell people this much, but I used to think like a cup that got crushed on the sidewalk or something was sad, and a couple times I actually cried about it. There must have been something messed up with me at the time, but so I would do that sort of stuff where I would thank things for, you know, letting me have them or use them for whatever time I had them for. I feel a little silly about it, but at the same time I don't, because what if? Rather safe than sorry? I don't know. I don't like to burn stuff though, especially if I could give it to somebody who needs it. Like, I don't know. Goodwill's a good place for that kind of crap.
With that kind of grip.
I've also used the Facebook Marketplace a few times. That one you gotta be a little bit careful about. One time I used it was a little scary of an incident, but...
The one time.
Well, I've used it 2 or 3 times at this point, and only one of them ended weird and creepy stalker guy-ish. Which, in the future, I think I'm just gonna have Gabe put them up. Because this guy was so weird. Like, why are you gonna be weird? We're making a transaction here. Why are you hitting on me when you have a girlfriend clearly in your Facebook profile? Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
But then it was also for her son?
His grandson.
His grandson.
So he was a grandpa. So at least, I mean, maybe my grandma Steez is coming through in other ways. I don't know. Ah, cute kitchen. Mamas are cute. Does anybody know, and I'm probably going to kick myself for this, but, like, no, I will. I feel dumb about this, but I'm going to ask anyway. So, like, all the princesses in Mario, right? Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, Toadstool. Is that Peach also? Is Peach still Princess Toadstool? Is that how that works? And then, who's the new one? Rosa something? The one in the teal dress that's been around for a bit now? God, what's her name?
Oh, man. I don't even follow,
Look it up! Look it up! Stop being a hack. Come on.
Rosalita?
Is it Rosalita? Oh, God.
Rosalina.
Rosalina? The chick that's in charge of the Lumas?
Yeah, Rosalina.
Okay. So, are there 3 princesses or 4? Or are there more now?
They're all blonde.
No, not Daisy. Daisy's Mexican. Yeah, Princess Daisy.
Oh.
Except in the Mario movie from '86, they made her
Okay,
blonde. I don't know.
that's why I'm confused. And who is Daisy the princess of?
See, that's what I'm talking about. I am, like, beyond confused at the, like, timeline of all the Mario stuff.
Yeah.
Where do they live? Okay, Rosalina I know lives in space or whatever, right? Because of Lumas, right? But Daisy and Peach, They obviously have crossover bits where they're in the same vicinity.
Oh, she's from Sarah Selland. Oh, she's from Super Mario Land.
Yeah, the original one.
No,
Right?
she's from the Game Boy version.
Yeah. No,
That's her.
Daisy is originally from the old Marios.
Yeah.
Like, she's old school. That's why she was in the movie.
Right.
But what is she the princess of
So-
versus Peach?
So she's the princess of Sarah Selland, which was from the Game Boy Land.
Okay. And then is Princess Peach Princess Toadstool? Or is Princess Toadstool a different princess? Because I've seen a little princess that's dressed up like a toad.
Peach is the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom.
But is that Princess Toadstool?
Same person.
Okay, then who is the princess that looks like a toad?
I
Someone help
thought
me.
she's transformed now. I thought she transforms from a toad into a princess.
No, that's when Toadette. Oh, it's Toadette. Okay, so
Toadette.
Toadette isn't a princess. Mario is.
Toadette. But in I guess in one of the games
I think Toadette.
she
oh my
turns
God.
into a thing.
I think this is like they took the Smurf idea, where every Smurf is a male except for Smurfette. Are there other female toads other than Toadette?
I don't think so. But so here's the problem though, is that like I saw in a game recently that
Hey, Dan Mox.
she turns into
Well,
Like
oh no,
Toadette.
Princess Peach puts on that crown, and this is where the Bowserette thing comes from. But she puts on the crown, and she turns into Princess Toadette, or whatever. So, but it doesn't work in any other way.
right, but like in the Super Mario Deluxe thing that I saw videos of, she puts on the crown and then she turns into the Princess Toadstool that we're all used to.
You mean Peach?
She turns into Peach, yeah.
Toadette turns into Peach.
Yeah, she grabs, like, in this new game, she grabs the crown, and then she, like, turns into Peach.
See, Mario is chaotic, it's chaos, and it's illogical. They do what they want. Why do they have golf and tennis? And soccer?
Yeah.
Why don't they have hockey and baseball? They have some sports, but not all the sports, and it's American soccer. Why doesn't Mario have football?
It's based
Can we
on...
talk about this,
Well, it's
please?
because football doesn't exist anywhere other than... Or American football doesn't exist anywhere other than America.
Right, but soccer is an American word. Why didn't they call it, like, football?
They probably call it football in Japan.
You think that?
Probably. Maybe.
I'm just saying. I want someone to tell me about the Mario business because is crazy. Is crazy.
Oh my god. Everyone, we have a special invited guest that is
Carrie!
super VIP,
Carrie!
but she's not VIP.
She is VIP. She should be. I'll make her VIP.
It's just she's never here, so
It's okay. She can be VIP.
this is like a rare Pokemon that just appeared.
We got a shiny, y'all. Why no bocce ball? See, Sniggle, you're getting it. You're asking the right questions. Why is Mario such a cluster of crazy
Wait until
logic?
we're all in our 80s, and then they're gonna have bocce ball.
He has NASCAR even. If you think about Mario Kart, it's like, it's actually Death Race. Have we thought about this? Mario
It is
Kart is
Death
Death Race.
It is.
Mario is Jason Statham. Okay?
Don't fall off of the Rainbow Road Bridge.
Carrie's mad at you. How dare you?
Whatever.
At Mario Party. Yeah, that's another one. Should we talk about that? Like, do these people have jobs? They're plumbers, but they're not plumbers. They're like...
Well, they don't have to if they're in the Mushroom Kingdom getting dapped from some, like, blonde princess lady.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they were plumbers before they became heroes.
Yeah.
Who have they really saved? Can we, like, come on.
They used to be John Leguizamo. Now they don't.
John Leguizamo's not Italian.
They used to be Puerto Ricans. Now they're not. They used to be Cockney accent hiding. Cagney accent hiding.
I don't know what you're
Englishman.
talking about. You're doing
Bob
that
Hoskins.
thing where you say a word like every 3 seconds and then I don't, like it doesn't keep up in my brain.
They
So
used to
then-
be Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, he was an okay Mario. I don't know. Sniggle, what did you say? Jason Statham was in Death Race, bro. He's in the first one. Get out. You didn't know that? So is Ian McShane.
He was in the reboot.
Gabe,
Yes,
you're making
yeah.
way too much noise.
Sorry. He was in the reboot.
Who was? Oh, we're talking about. Oh,
That was
okay.
not the first one.
So I'm sorry. Did I offend you, Sniggle? Are you talking about the old Death Race?
Offended me.
What is it? It's in the 70s, right?
Yeah, probably late 70s, maybe 80s. But
You're about to have a meeting with a really important person about your art and give you advice, suggestions, usually. Well, it depends on what the meeting's about, Jazzy. I mean, I can't just say, well, is there a God? You know, that sort of question. Don't lead with that. Also, listen more than you ask questions if you can. I mean, if they're the type to talk a lot, like if you were talking to me, I'm gonna talk a lot. So listen, you know. And then the other thing that's been pissing us off, and we're just gonna say it straight out, is when we give advice and people just, they ask for it, they ask for the advice, we give it to them, then they don't listen to us. It's like, I'm not gonna give advice anymore.
The thing that I don't like is when they do the exact opposite.
Or that they ask us for it, we give advice, they do the opposite. It's like,
They do
Come on.
what I told you not to do that.
yeah, Jazzy, what's the context? We could probably better help you if we know the context. I mean, you'll never fail if you lead with, how are you? How you doing today? Don't ask it creepily, though. That might be bad. Carrie, how you been, man? What are you doing today? How you been staying warm? You have to work? What are you doing? Kiwi baby.
Oh, it was a random question.
Oh, just random?
I sort of was excited for you in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounded like you were going somewhere with this. I mean, the question would have to be thematic to whatever the instance was. You know, you don't want to ask about how many joules in a quantum blah 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 if it's for pasta. I don't know. Right? Right. I kind of miss doing interviews, like with potential job people. Those were always fun. Got me all hopped up. You're the only one that could change your life. Sickle. Yeah, kitchen, keep a Luma. Keep a Luma. You spend time on those. Don't burn them though. That could be like some sort of weird voodoo shit. I wouldn't burn the Lumas, but maybe give them away for free to family and friends or something. Or do giveaways. Like I said, do giveaways. Just don't sell them. Do a giveaway. Sometimes her snores sound like farts. It's great. It's very cold. I injured my hand. Yeah, so Carrie, do you get, like, time off for hurting your hand? Or do you just do different jobs because of your hand? Oh, no, Sniggle, she did something I think is almost worse. I don't know. I feel like welding at least would cauterize it. Yeah, she sanded her fingernails off. Blech. Oh, kitchen, that's cute. Oh, hopefully it's not because of us, Miltzu. I hope you feel better though. Go relax. Okay. Actually, it's too much gray up here, so I'm actually, instead of making these fully metal pauldrons, I'm gonna actually make them leather with metal accoutrements. I don't know. I can't think of the metal barriers. No, metal lining. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Carrie, are your fingers at least feeling better? I feel so bad. That has to. One of the worst feelings was, I've had this a couple times actually, when you don't have a nail, whether it's on your fingers or your toes, and you can feel the air on them, and that feeling just alone that this isn't supposed to be something I should be feeling right now is so eerie and makes me want to throw up, and it's like so uncomfortable, man. Oh yeah. Hey Miltu, maybe look up, when you don't have a headache anymore or anything, those glasses that do the tint for monitors. If you're on a monitor a lot, they're like yellow tint, and they actually help so you don't get as many like headaches and stuff. That could help. Oh God, Carrie, crazy. Not necessarily kitchen. Actually, if you use the right hashtags, you can get followers from doing giveaways. They'll come to your thing, see what you do, and be like, oh, I like this person, I'll stay here too, so you get a follow. But if you use like hashtags like giveaway, contest, what are the other ones? Giveaway, contest, sweepstakes, maybe? I mean, whatever you can think of, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabe, how many people did you get from your giveaway? Didn't you gain like 30 people?
Oh, probably more than that. It was like 150 or something. Yeah, it was a lot.
So yeah, you can gain people.
I mean, it's really extreme a thing, but I think it's because I was giving away like supplies and shit.
That's true. But yeah, it's all about the hashtags, baby. I absolutely have not been as active on Instagram as I used to be, let alone the internet, and as bad as it is for my art career, I am much happier. I mean, isn't that always the case? You always hear somebody like, oh yeah, and I stopped doing as much social media and I feel great. It's true. Like, you feel a lot better, you know? I mean, I know in terms of my, like, I don't know, whatever art group sort of like situation I'm in, I'm trying not to like do that thing where it's like, well, I'm not posting as much as all these other artists and blah blah blah. And it's like, you know what, if I'm not trying to gain followers or exposure right now, like that's not my main objective currently, then, you know, take time for myself, because you really got to take mental health stuff, you really do. So if you don't have like a direct objective and you're not feeling like diving into it, because I mean, what was it? How long have we been dating? 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was hitting it hard trying to get follows by posting every day and getting better at my art. The follows were just kind of a happy side effect. I was mainly doing it to get better at my art. I was like, well, if I draw every day, there's no way I can get worse, really, right? As long as I'm drawing from my mind and doing the right studies and things. And so I gained bulk of my followers by doing that. And nowadays, it's like, well, I'm kind of happy where I am. I mean, it'd be nice to be over 10K just because you get certain Instagram buttons and stuff at that point that help with, like, business. But honestly, if you don't stop and look at where you're at, you're just going to keep doing that. Think about it. Like, you could be doing that forever. If there's no real stopping point, if you don't just stop and be like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm okay where I'm at right now. This is alright. Like, if you keep going, you're doing that forever, and there may not be an end in sight, you know? Granted, Instagram and Facebook might explode soon, but, you know, you never know. I mean, it is weird when a social media dies, Like when Vimeo, no, not Vimeo, Vine. When Vine died, it was really sad because all your stuff's on there. They warned you, hey, go get your videos while you can, and that was it.
I remember some people like freaking out about it, and it's like, they told you it was gonna happen.
Yep, they let you know.
What, do you think they were kidding?
Oh yeah, Carrie, you feel me on that. It's crazy. Because I forgot to tell you, I'm also missing a nail on my left foot, big toe. I told you about my finger, this one, because it's got that scar. And this, like, it's split, because I used the X-Acto knife. I was using it on a foam core, right? And I was cutting foam core, and I cut it. For anybody that's squeamish, you might want to mute me or something, just because. But I was cutting it, and I cut right through to the bone, like right here, and I went off to the side. That's what the scar is. And this nail still doesn't grow back the right way. Like, it's always kind of janky, like growing at an angle. But when it happened, I could literally pull the sides of my finger apart, and I could feel the air, because it was still winter, and I could feel it on the inside of my finger. So what happened was, after that, when it started like growing again, you know, the nails start growing out, and it was still attached to the finger, but it was just split. So it would grow out, and the new nail was connected. So it was really weird. For a while I had this like serpentine looking split, you know, so I had to cut my nail knowing there's this giant fucking V in it. Super messed up. Super messed up. I know! I warned you! I warned you! But my toenail, I had to actually have that removed. So I haven't had like a big left toe forever. It's whatever though. You don't need them really. Okay. But yeah, Carrie, I hope it feels better soon. It took me about 6 months for mine to get to just normal again. So I hope yours is quicker. But yeah, because they're nails and they have to grow back, it's like, ugh. Maybe take some biotin or some vitamin E or something so it grows faster. So it's not as long of a wait. I should have probably done that blue. What is this cat's personality again? He works doorknobs. He's fat. Sits in front of the AC. Oh, he's smart. Maybe I should put him in red. And that one's a king, though. This one's a lover. Hi, Valley. Nope, they're not. They're just standing together. They're brothers, technically. Sniggle, it was back in 2007 or 8 when I did this. I was an intern too. So it's really funny what happens when you hurt yourself as an intern. It's not exactly like you get workman's comp. Life Aquatic is more than correct on that. Hey, kitchen, that's great. There you go. Sniggle, you can't cut away from your body with an X-Acto knife. Have you tried to do that? That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Actually, for a while, I actually couldn't do anything with the X-Acto knife. Like, I would always ask someone else to do it. Because for a while, I was scared. And it's something about cutting foam core. I could cut paper and other stuff, but foam core has this thing where it'll slow down sometimes, and then other times it'll be easier to cut it depending on how you're doing it. So it changes the speed, and that's where I think the actual problem happened. Like, I ended up speeding up at one time, and it just went right through. Yeah. I want to do this a specific color, but I also really don't. So I'm having a time with that. Sorry, sometimes I forget to move the camera. Even now, 2 years later. Yeah, I think I want to do this a different color, but maybe I'll do him blue. Yeah, I think I'll do him blue. Just gotta pull the trigger once in a while, y'all. Also, I don't know where my marker swatch sheet is. Damn it all. Oh, you want to know something else that was like gross and scary? I don't know if I should tell this one. This one's actually pretty... Nah, maybe it's not. Okay, if anybody's squeamish, mute me for the next 5-10 seconds, something like that. Ready, go. When I was in first grade, I was kind of an idiot, and I put my finger in one of those old school pencil sharpeners. I just put my finger in because I was like, oh hey, logic tells me it's just gonna cut my nail like normal. Nope. Really bad idea. Gotta hand it to me for at least being adventurous. I don't know. Where are all my reds? Did you take any of my reds?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
That's not my usual red. That's, oh yeah, that's a totally different red. That's the same number. What the crap? It's so weird. I'm gonna tint this to be more of a warm red later. Right now it's not very warm. Sniggle. You guys know the type I'm talking about too? The one that's attached to the wall and it's got the little, like, grater in there. It's like spiraled. Urgh! I did it again too with one of those hand ones. That's these ones. I don't know. I guess I didn't give up. I hate things with nails. Maybe that's why I have a thing with nails. Anyway. Hey, at least I give you guys warnings. Gabe, did you, Gabe or anybody here, did you guys see the, there's a story about a guy that fell asleep during doing his Twitch stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he woke up with like 200 people watching him. And they had like given him donations and crap and follows. It's like, what a world we live in where you can just fall asleep and make money. Just for being inept? I don't know. I think he just was tired and fell asleep. It's hilarious to me though. You working on comics?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get back to Sniggle about the hotel thing?
Not entirely.
Yeah, Sniggle, we're kind of held up on that because of Ren. We have to kind of talk to him more about what his plan is and try and talk him out of it. Because it's a not good plan. So give us time on that. Yeah. Oh. Blah. I was not smart sometimes when I was a kid. A wood stove? Oh, yeah, Sniggle, right? That could be kind of confusing, I guess. I don't think I've ever seen a wood stove in real life being used. Twice. I know. Nothing. He's just debating staying in a party room. And I'm like, dude, you're working that night. Or that weekend. You're not. This isn't like party time. You told Gabe you'd run his booth. So it'd be better if he stayed with me, because then I could whip him into shape and be like, hey, wake up, you know. But I guess if nothing else, Sniggle, if you want to stay with me, you just have to bring like a sleeping bag.
No, that's what part of it was, trying to figure out.
Oh, get another bed?
You get a different place. Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't mind, though, then we can at least keep our reservation or whatever.
Well, that's why I was gonna change it.
That's what I'm saying, though, if it's not available to be changed. So you know ASEN. Shit fills up. Alright, Snake. You sure you want to go to ASEN and not C2E2? I suppose you've already been to C2E2. No kitchen, really? I suppose that's like a reaction. Oh. What happened to him? What happens when your skin gets deep fried? Does it just slough off when it's done being crispy? Or can you put it... You soak it then? God, I don't know. Oh. Ugh, I don't want to know these questions or these answers. But I do. But I don't. Ah. I think because this cat is... Yeah, this color is so strange. I could put him in blue. Okay, the cat came from Ireland, so I'm gonna make him green. Oof, yeah, that'd be horrible. Kind of wish OBS had a thing where if you're not talking, you know, it turns up the music, and then when you start talking, it lowers it again. Kind of like cars do. When you're like coming to a intersection, the music sometimes dies down, depending on the car you have. She's my little jalopy. Little busted up car. Mushy? You see, Ben? Oh, look at this schmuck. There's so much. Good girl, honey. What'd you do?
Well, no, it's just that one room we got has one bed,
Yeah.
and it's Sniggle. You still around? It was gonna be. I think he wanted to check in on Thursday. We do have a check-in for Thursday, but it is one bed.
I mean, like I said, if he doesn't mind doing the sleeping bag thing.
But we might be able to get like a rollaway cot.
I thought they didn't allow that. Like, under
No.
what circumstances do they allow
Yeah,
rollaways?
if you have one bed in the room.
Oh, okay.
If you have two, then they're like, no, you already have two. You
I
can't
see.
have that.
Well, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so like the price on the hotel is like $200 to $300 cheaper than booking anything else right now.
That's what I was afraid of, see?
Yeah.
The fact we booked it early is always
Yeah.
cheaper. So, I mean, Sniggle, I'd rather do that if you're okay with that. I don't want to spend way too much.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause-
sure you don't either.
Because right now it's $400.
And who knows, maybe Ren will come in and Ren sleeps in bathtubs, so
Yeah.
whatever. Kitchen, yeah, so I actually had a boyfriend who had a Chevy Malibu, and this was a long time ago. And whenever we came to a stop, it turned on the music on its own. And then when you'd accelerate, it would turn it back up to where you had it. And I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome. And then I ended up buying that car, not that same car, but the same model and everything, hoping it would do that, and it didn't. So I don't know, and I had that car for a long time. I love that car, except for the fact it didn't have that. But I was like, why didn't it have it? So I don't even know why his had it and other ones didn't, but... You sure, Sniggle? You're okay with that? I mean, we could probably even bring, since it's a con, people never, like, if you're bringing a ton of stuff up to the room, they assume it's costumes. So if you want to bring like a full, like, couple comforters or something and just disguise it in another luggage, go for it. You could make it really comfy if you wanted to, honestly. But yeah, we don't know what Ren's gonna do.
I got a feeling that because we're checking in on Thursday, that'll be totally possible to get a rollaway cot.
Yeah, that's true. But like Ren's doing this thing where like 20 people are getting a 2-level room. What is it called? Gabe? I'll have to tell him when he comes back. But yeah, it's like, I've never even heard of this, where they have hotel rooms that are 2 levels high. Something like that, and it's like a party room. I've never even heard of this. Emily, no, I'm so sad. The only con I really wanted to get into, I didn't. I'm so upset about that. Because they change the judges every year, and honestly, I forgot about that, and I should have just submitted the same art pieces I did last year. But I thought it was the same judges for whatever reason, probably because other cons are like that. And I submitted different ones that, in my opinion, weren't as strong as last year's, so I didn't get in. But that is like my best con. I'm so bummed about it. I know, I'm so bummed. I'll be at Anime Milwaukee, Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle, ACEN in Chicago, and Dragon Con in Atlanta. As far as I know, I've just got those 4 right now. Gabe will be at C2E2. That's his only con so far this year, but you're happy about that.
Yep.
Yeah. You wanted less cons, we wanted less cons. So there's that. But yeah, I'm bummed about Gen Con, man. Bummed. Yeah, I'll be at Emerald City, but like I said earlier, I'm really scared about that because my books. If I can't get more books, is it even going to be worth me going? You know what? Maybe I should see this as a blessing in disguise. My luggage won't be as heavy. You know?
Yeah.
We just need to find a new printer. Oh, kitchen, I would love that. And so far at Emerald, I just have a room by myself, which I'm cool with. So, happy about that. Because you didn't hear back from her, right?
Not yet.
It's expensive, but it's one of those things where it's like sometimes I like paying for comfort if I have the money to. Especially if I'm doing a job. Like if I was there to party or something, it'd be different. Which I would never do that, but since it's like work, I need I want my best sleep, you know? I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want time to relax after the convention. Like, they are so demanding physically on you as a vendor. It's crazy. Let's see. What are you guys doing right now? Gabe's doing comics. I'm doing this. Oh, gold. Duh. Gold, 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 gold. Oh, kitchen, cute. Are they cool though? Maybe not so much trash? Couldn't you just make Warhammer trophies out of miniatures?
Right?
Like, wouldn't that almost be even more personal and cool? Is that what you did? Also, the analytical part of me. Oh, bye, Sniggle! Have fun at HEMA. Oh, cute. Emily, I am loving those, by the way. I would like to even commission you for one, if you get comfortable enough doing them. What the hell was I just talking about, though? I just had it. No, I forgot. Oh, cute kitchen. Best presentation! Yay! I hate it when I'm streaming and I forget what I was gonna say. I don't even remember what I started to say. Last. I thought I had to do with Emerald City, but I don't think it did. That's another reason I like Color Erase with marker as opposed to just regular graphite. With marker, when you put marker over graphite, sometimes it can actually blur it and make it muddy, and they don't blend well. But with a Color Erase, the opposite kind of happens, but the same thing sort of occurs where like I'm actually using it to my advantage. Like the colored pencil itself kind of blurs, but it doesn't adhere to your marker at all. But you still get this nice... It's almost like if you evenly shaded it and you put the marker on top of it, it actually takes the marker down into another darkness. How cute am I? I'd probably want a beaver. Because I like beavers. I think that'd be great. I would gladly pay you for a beaver. I should actually take print inventory and make sure I have enough for Amkey. guess at least Catprint's still in business.
Mhm.
Taking away all my resources, man. So you did find a place, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to send them a real, like a legit,
Like you can't send them a PDF?
I'm not sure. I mean, you'll have to like go through the website and see what they want to get like a real quote.
I hate that crap.
Yeah.
I would actually like to avoid that.
But it's not avoidable. It's not upload your file and then just send it off.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Is Kablam that way?
Is what?
Kablam that way?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to stick to manga size or comic size, and that's it.
Do they at least do Perfect Bound?
Yeah.
How much of a price difference?
For what?
Well, between that and what I was paying.
Oh.
For like Perfect Bound with them. She doing that sucking thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys hear a sucking noise, it's the dog. Oh, cute, Emily. You could just take the platypus beak and make it a tail. Insta beaver. Oh, maybe it was about Gen Con. No, maybe it wasn't. What was I gonna say about Gen Con?
Well, I guess the biggest problem is gonna be that you're gonna have to retool your entire Pets and Armor book.
I have to do that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I gotta take out some.
Because like the only size that they have is 8 by 10.5, which is basically a sheet of paper.
No, that's what Adorned Animals is.
Mm-hmm. Or comic size, which is 6 by 10, or close to 7 by 10. So it's almost the same size as that.
So they don't have custom?
No.
God damn.
And then manga size is 5 by 7.5.
I wish we could figure out what printer Printy was using. Because there has to be another company using that, right?
I think what they were doing is they were going to different printers, like little printers. Basically like the one that I found. And
well, how are they able to offer custom though? That's the thing.
well, that's what I mean. They were just going to I think they probably had a few different printers that were just like on retainer, and then they were making money off of it.
But that's what I'm saying, like, wherever they were using for a custom size printer still exists somewhere. And where is it? Like, can we find it?
Well, that's what this one that I found. You can do a custom size, but you gotta talk to them. And so what I'm assuming is that they were the ones facilitating that, talking to people. So you're gonna be doing it's gonna be like $8 for 8 by 10.
Maybe I should just stop selling books this year.
I don't know.
And see what happens next year. I'm just gonna have to take a hit, I guess, at the conventions by not having books.
But I mean, I guess if you sell like 10 of them, what do you get, like
$200?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd have 4 different kinds of books.
Yeah.
I guess I still have my coloring book and my zine.
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks I won't have Grigor.
Those I think are easier to make though.
Well, the older saddle stitch ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go back to doing that.
No, I mean you could still make the.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because
Yeah.
they were regular size.
Oh, it's 8.5 by 5.5, or.
It was 5.5 by I think 8.5.
Oh, okay.
It was like taking a 8 by 11 and folding it.
Yeah, you either might have to make it smaller or make it comic size.
guess I could make it smaller.
In that case, then.
Is this like, do you guys get anything out of us discussing this? Is that at least letting you into this kind of world? I feel kind of bad talking business, but maybe it's educational? Wow.
That'd be like $4.50 a copy if you ordered 30 of them.
That's not bad, actually. Shit, that's really dark.
And you could do the 36 pages, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that perfect bound?
Yeah.
So wait, they can do perfect bound less pages at a smaller size?
Yeah, I think they let you go 24 pages.
I didn't know that.
These guys let you do that.
Oh. See, that makes me want to do smaller books then anyway.
Well, I think just these guys let you do that regardless.
Plus, taking a whole bunch of books on a plane to another state for a convention and lugging it around the city is one of the worst things you could possibly imagine. Hey, Violin, thank you. Yeah, I'm usually streaming on Thursdays, but the past week we were moving, so no stream last week. But thank you, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, right, Kitchen. I'm really sad about that too because I was telling people to use it and it was my like go-to, like, oh yeah, you want to make a book? Go to these guys because they were great. Honestly, you know, if they ever screwed up, their customer service at least was fantastic. They just send you a whole new print run, but now I'm starting to think maybe that's why they went down. I don't know. I'm really upset about that though. It seemed really abrupt. Yeah. Like, it was an overnight thing, I feel like.
I guess that's how they...
But I don't think it was, because remember I found those articles about Vistaprint acquiring Printy?
Yeah.
But it was Brazil Printy.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they were going around actually buying them out at different areas. Either way, it was sad. They were fairly priced, they're good quality. And honestly, the way to order them was great. You really can't find that as good, I feel like. Oh, come on. Okay. So here's a trick. If you're ever drawing or coloring an animal, a lot of the time, if they have a lot of colors on them, like they're a tortoiseshell or they're calico, something like that, where they have multiple colors and you can't really tell what is your actual color, look around their eyes. Because in a lot of cases, maybe I can show you this. So on this cat here, see how his eyes, around there, that's beige? So I'm going to do his base color like that. And then all of these other colors on top of it, the darkest one goes on last, right? But he's got some yellow there, he's got beige, he's got some orange, he's got some red, but they're all splotched underneath this overlay of like a warm dark gray. So when you're faced with this, usually look around the eyes. There's a cute kitty in it. His brother is pretty cute too. Let me see if I can get out of that. So the other cat is this guy. He's a big beauty. Here are the two of them. You can see him. And the other hard thing about doing these a lot of the time is the lighting. In the pictures that people give me, you know, sometimes they'll have a couple that are in cold lighting, sometimes a couple in warm, so I have to figure out what the actual colors of the cat are, cat or dog or what have you, and it can be difficult. So this is usually the part where I get kind of scared if someone is watching their commission be made, because they're going to be like, whoa, my cat is not beige, bro, and I'll be like, yo, wait. Just wait. This is like layer 1 of 5 you know. Because usually I do offer that they watch it on Twitch if they want, but if they were right now, this is where I'd be like, okay, don't freak out. It's just the underpainting, technically. So a lot of people don't think about that, like the underlying color of the fur, because you have to actually, it took me a long time to figure that out, that I have to do it in phases like this. I knew I'd have to, but to figure out that base for color first. But you know what I mean? What animals have I done? I've done quite a few. Some really exotic ones too, which has been fun. I think it's more interesting though to tell people what I haven't done. And surprisingly, I've never done a bulldog. Like I've done probably close to 300 now and never done a bulldog. I've done tegu lizards, which are like 2 to 3 foot lizards. They're like the size of a toddler. You can put them on your arm. I've done pigs, I've done horses, I've done chickens.
Tortoise.
Salamanders, what?
Tortoise.
Tortoises, hamsters, guinea pigs, rabbits. I had a guy ask me about 14 goats once. That was funny. Some people just want to pull your chain and see what you say. Like he was like, oh, I've got 14 goats. What would you do for those? It's like, don't mess with me, guy. Come on. I mean, I answered it tactfully and professionally, but at the same time, it's like, you're not going to pay me for 14 goats. Come on. I had someone, I think they bought it. They have a prairie dog. Like an actual prairie dog. They were at Gen Con.
Bye, Em.
Bye, Emily. Yeah, I'm glad. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, really, Kitchen? That's awesome. That would be a fun job if you're not allergic to them. I would think actually that'd be better than being like a baby photographer. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I haven't had, there's some dogs I haven't had, like, well, I had a Mastiff. I've done a Wolfhound. What are those one dogs? Afghans? The ones that are like super Fabio? I haven't had one of those. I haven't had a Dalmatian.
White dogs? Like, you don't think you've had a lot of white dogs?
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of those. Honestly, I get probably twice as many cats as I do dogs. I've done snakes. That was fun. Yeah, I haven't done a chow. It's so weird. I get like the same breeds all the time. I don't know, it's really weird. I would love a chow, that'd be fun. Oh, cute. I'm surprised she doesn't get like a, I'm sure she's already thought of this, but like a wall of acrylic or something. I suppose it would shine, but so they have a fence of sorts. Or maybe, hey, maybe you should ask her to get little nets, kind of like pool tables have for like the balls. Just put like a net system around the table, so if they, you know, beef it and they go off the table, they at least are caught in the net. I have done a Manx cat, yeah.
A net.
I've done a lot of cats. I haven't done a Scottish fold though. I would love to do a Scottish fold. Or a Munchkin. I haven't gotten a Munchkin. It's weird. I feel like I get the same sort of breeds though, you know? Oh, they hop over the fences? That's what I'm saying. So you've got the table. Here, I'll even draw it because I don't know, I'm into this right now. So if you got the photography table and the cat's right here, right? Little kitten. Maybe she's got these things that come off it, like these little hangers, I guess. And if there's a little net here, that can just catch the cat if it, you know, goes under. I mean, if this is her main gig, this would totally be worth her time. She could even get like a card game table or something and repurpose it to this. I think that'd be cute as hell. Then she could even put on her Instagram, oh, bloopers. This one took a dive. You know? Something like that. You get the drift. Something that took me a long time to get good at with markers was the gradient flick, I might call it. Gradient flick. And I taught Gabe about this because he didn't know about it either, but to do gradients with markers and do them well, you have to kind of have the brush tip and also use it in a flicking manner. So that's how I got all these folds to already look how they are, just using one color. That's it. Like, you just have to learn where to start with the marker, where to end, and how much pressure to apply. And when to let up. And that takes a while. So you have to kind of, mess with markers for a bit, because it can take a while to figure out how hard to do it and how far to flick. And it does change too, depending on the marker you're using, if it's Prismacolor or Copic. Like, I had to basically get used to using Copics when I started using those too. They're totally different because they sit differently in your hand.
Also, the nib on a Copic is a lot firmer.
Mm-hmm. There's that too. And I think Copics, the nib frays less often.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I do run my Prismas into brown, so maybe that's just me. But the very tip sometimes will pill, kind of like fabric pills and just various other things pill. So. I'm gonna do that white. It's gonna be white. Probably do the chainmail on string. I could do that right now, actually. Yeah, they can get expensive, Island. There are cheap versions too, so if you're ever curious, like the Prismacolors, I always tell people if you're gonna start using markers and you're curious, you want to see if you like them, only buy like three colors, and I usually actually say to get grayscale first, and I say to get the 10%, the 30%, and the 50%. I think it's a 50. No, wait, it's 157. Hold on. So 155, 157, and I think a 159. So maybe it is 50. Yeah. So it's a 155, 157, and a 159 of the Prismacolors, which is 10%, 30%, 50%. That's enough to give you a gradation, and to play around with those and to figure out if you like them, because Prismacolors are at least cheaper than Copics. At least here in the US we have Prismacolors. I don't know about other brands overseas, but I'm sure you have an alternate cheaper version than just Copics. So just make sure they have a brush tip and not a chisel tip. And a brush tip looks like this, and a chisel tip looks very much hard-edged. So don't get that. But you spend less than $10 for 3 markers, try them out. If you don't like them, you don't like them. You only spent $10 then. But it is good to try different things to see if, maybe you do really like markers. Because I remember when I didn't know anything about markers, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give these a shot, see if I like them. Because I like how quick they are. I like that you can get kind of a watercolor effect sometimes from them, but without using watercolor, because watercolor can be very difficult. And I kind of fell in love with them. I like that they're so quick, you know, and I don't like spending hours and hours and hours on pieces. I'm not that type of artist. So remember, it is good to figure out what kind of artist you are too. If you like to spend, you know, hundreds of hours on one thing, or if you want to skip around and do a bunch of things, if you have more ideas than you do pieces, you know, it's good to know that about yourself. So definitely give it a try. I think it's always good to kind of feed your need to try different things, whether it's like a different hobby or whatever. Just start cheap, start small, and be patient with yourself. Because you're starting something new. Some people think, oh, I should be good at this right away. No, definitely not. If you are, that's just luck, you know. But otherwise, give yourself some time to get used to it. You know, be nice to yourself. And, you know, explore it a little bit. And it might take multiple times. You know, maybe the first time you hate it, and then you go back again and you love it. You never know. Might be your mood that day. Who knows? A leopard gecko. Not a leopard gecko, no. I think the closest I've done to a gecko is probably a bearded dragon. I know they're very different. Geckos are like this big anyway, and bearded dragons can, you know. But no, I haven't done a gecko. However, Desperado, if you're interested or kind of leaning towards thinking of, you know, asking me sometime, any animal that's basically smaller than a rabbit, I give a small animal discount. Yeah, Nightshade, I know. That's why I stopped going on Facebook. Everybody's like, oh, the cold, blah, blah, blah. And admittedly, I started the stream talking about it, but, I mean, we have so many overseas people in here, I thought it was fair to mention. But yeah, like, my Facebook, it's just all my Minnesota friends, and yeah. We do like to feel superior to people when it comes to weather, and, oh, you think you've got it bad. We changed our doorbell to La Cucaracha. Gabe's Mexican, it's okay. That's probably my package.
Yeah.
You might have to go around. So that door is barred. I wouldn't move it, Gabe. Just go around.
Oh, it's a big old box. Oh no.
Well, since we have vaulted ceilings now, and there's a bunch of cobwebs, I bought cobweb cleaner 20-foot extension thing. Like, they're pretty high, man. Like, maybe that's 3-4 of me stacked on one another to the top. Anyway. Bless your awful doorbell. It's wonderful. It used to play Christmas music, so we had to change it. And thank God they had La Cucaracha. Thank God. It's true, Nightshade. We are. At least I mentioned that we are, you know? I'm aware. It's one of our downsides, I think. But you gotta hand it to us. Because, I mean, it's, you know, it's scary. When it's that cold out, man. What's weirder to me, though, Nightshade, is aren't you more north than Minnesota is? Technically, like, you never hear about Michigan. What are you, Michiganders, Michigans, Michiganites? The hell are you? Either way, like, you never hear you guys talking about cold, but don't you get it as cold? Get out of here. You need to come over here. I'm trying to even out this lighting. Bullshit. Oof. There we go. That's a bit better. It's a heinous doorbell, really. Is it really that big?
Yeah.
If you just want to take it out and ditch the box, go for it. We got enough boxes in here. God, I don't know how this stuff is still so... Michiganders? That's cute. I appreciate that.
Michiganders.
I lost you for 3 hours at home. No, Nightshade. Do you have backup generators for your backup generators? Thank you, Violin. I appreciate that. You try hard, you know? And that's another thing. Like, learning how to do textures with different mediums is truly an art in itself. Because every time you pick up a different medium, it's going to be treating that texture differently. And in a different approach, too. Because you'll have to do things in different phases depending on how the medium works. So, hey Eliza, what's up? Mai's back. Hi Mai. So actually, Eliza and Mai, I think we had told you guys about a company to use for printing books, right? I think we talked to both of you about it. Well, the bad news is that's the same company we use for our books too, and they got bought by Vistaprint, and they're not offering it anymore. So we're panicking, trying to find a new book printer that's as nice as that one was. Eliza, I think I had told you about what printer we use because I wanted you to eventually make books, whatever. So I think I had told you about it, but... Really, Nightshade? Is that how it works? Can it die? Like a regular car battery where you can charge it, like you have to jump start it? Do electrics work that way? Or how does that happen? How's it look, Gabe?
Good.
Does it look like it's gonna work?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so as soon as we find a good replacement, we'll let you guys know. Hey man, I told you I'm in grandma mode today. I'm cozy, I got my big old grandma glasses on. Do I have the urge to cover my... Yeah, actually, normally I do. It's not even the glasses. I just think it's smart to put plastic on your couches. But, since it's uncomfortable, instead we coat our couches with, like, we take a flat sheet from, like, a bed set, and we just put that on it. Mainly so the dog can go on our furniture and stuff, and then we can just wash the sheet and not have to actually do anything to the couch. Which is just smart, okay? It's just smart. You can get on me for being smart. That's fine. But no regrets. Where is it? Can I see it? Should I bring it over here? I want a chip. Give me that chip. Give me that chip. I'm wearing a poncho and 2 other shirts. I was wearing my robe all day, but I knew I'd have to change it because I can't wear my robe on stream. No. Yes. Who doesn't though, Nightshade? I bet you do. Don't you? Don't you? Everybody does. I have a tea tin too. Funny enough. Yes, Chip. What does it look like? Is it obnoxious? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's gotta be though. You know? That's like American Gladiators. That's awesome. What kind of chip? Tortilla chip. Nightshade, are you telling me you're not cozied up in any way? You're not wearing like sweatpants or something? I call bullshit. And here's a tip too. For anybody that has this problem where you draw pupils in the eyes and you make them in the middle, basically, and you know, everybody looks like they're surprised or too alert or something, just do a gradient in the eye up here to down here of it being more shaded, more covered. Because even if you're not adding an eyelid, you know, because if you add an eyelid to make them look less alert, they're going to look overly tired. So instead of doing that, make them have the same eye shape as being alert, same like pupil as being alert, but then add a gradation to the top, from the top to the bottom of the eye, of being dark to light, and then they'll be alert, they'll be calm, but you know, they won't be tired then. Yeah, see? You understand. It's not the cliche tin though, where it's like those round Danish cookies in a blue tin. It's not that one. See, you're wearing leggings. No one looks good when they're like comfy. Everybody's wearing trash. I don't care what you say. No one looks cool when they're being comfy. I mean, at least if you're older. If you're younger and you look cool while you're cold, you're trying too hard. If you're wearing like a skirt and thigh-high leggings because you're still trying to stay warm, it's like, just bite the bullet and wear some pants. You know, come on. Who are you trying to impress? This cat. I don't think it's that color. Maybe it is. Stupid thick? Like, is that the difference? God, she's really tired. I guess she didn't sleep until 4, did she?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You kept her busy all day. All day. Are you getting hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I wish the TV was set up.
Probably could.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot of BS. Yeah, right, Desperado? It's like, come on, be a little bit more tactful. Like, dress for the weather. I'm so cold. Well, you're wearing spaghetti straps. What do you expect? Come on now. How'd your mama raise you? Be better. Okay, so what I might do next is this cat has that basically a 3-stage to him. He's got the beige first, then he's got a couple yellow spots, and then he's got the really dark 2 shades of black, which are, I'm gonna just make gray and then go over them with a brown. But I think I'm gonna do the stripes first, which are the black, but I'll use a dark brown, and then put the yellow on, and hopefully that kind of diffuses the dark, because the parts where it is dark, it is pretty diffuse. So, yep, the base drawings in pencil. For certain things, I use Kohl Erase pencils, so it's this brown. It's not even a gray, it's a brown. And be careful when you use this brand, the Kohl Erase specifically. Prismacolor pencils are fantastic. The Premier series is great for coloring and anything like that, because it's just, they're soft, they blend well, they're not very coarse, they're great. The Kohl Erase ones, though, come with erasers, and the lead is a bit harder, because I think they do realize that you're probably doing line work with them. So I'll show you here. like on this one, this is also the brown, and it doesn't look like it, but then once I actually start adding on the colors, the brown blends well with the colors I use. I can't use regular graphite because with marker, it's going to actually pick up the graphite and muddy your marker forevermore, and also it messes it up on the paper too. Like the graphite does this, it reacts really weird. But the Col-Erase is really good because it stands its ground, and in some cases adding the marker over it actually even helps it. So I recommend that with alcohol-based markers. I can't speak for water-based, but at least then you get some cool variants too with the fact you have different colors you can use with Col-Erase. You know, I feel like a lot of beginning artists always think they have to use graphite, and if you are a beginning artist, I would actually say, you know, to experiment with a bunch of stuff. You know, graphite is fine and everything, but unless you plan on being a graphite artist, you really don't have to use it as much as you think you do. And I think that's one of those lesser known things that people don't talk about enough. You don't need to use graphite ever if you don't want to. You know, you could just do straight ink if you want. Do whatever you want. Using graphite only doesn't make you, you know, the best artist ever. You know, you can though if you want to, and you're good at it and you enjoy it, that's fine, but I feel like too many people think that, well, to be a good artist I have to be good at graphite. And, nah, be good at whatever you want to be good at. Because you're going to be the best at whatever you enjoy doing the most, as long as you keep it up. Typically people won't be good at things they don't enjoy, you know, typically. Sure, it happens once in a while, but that doesn't mean they're going to keep it up either. Actually, I find that to be more true with people who are in more logic-based jobs. Like if they can do math, they'll have a job where they do math, but they don't necessarily always like it. They just know they're good at it, you know? But when it's art, I feel like that's something you can't hide from. Like, if you don't like doing something specific in art, you're not going to do it.
Unless you're getting paid.
Yeah. But even then, it's like, you're going to break at some point. Because it's going against your grain and what you want to do. So just remember, it's always best to do what you want to do. Because eventually you'll crack. Can you make a wash effect with color pencils, or should I just use watercolor? Eliza, I'd use watercolor, because no matter what, if you use colored pencils on a big area, you're always going to have that graininess and the coarse, like, you know, where it's not very smooth. Even if you use really smooth colored pencils, you're still going to have that graininess. And unless you're going for that, yeah, I would definitely use watercolor instead. Or ink. I mean, it doesn't always have to be watercolor if you'd rather use ink. Sometimes I like to use ink instead because I just feel like it absolutely will not be picked up later on, where sometimes I feel like even later on you can pick up watercolor. Is that true?
Yeah, you can always, not always, but I mean sometimes you can wash it out a little.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes if I want something to stay there, you know, I'll use ink instead. Hey Ladder, what's up? Oh, thanks, Nightshade. Yeah, he's a pretty boy. So I had to... He's also a dwarf, so... You know dwarves. Gotta make him up. He's also a big boy. Like, he's bigger than this guy. I know it looks like I did it wrong, because his head's a lot bigger than this one, but that's actually how it is. Like, his head's pretty big, comparatively. Nightshade. But yeah, Nightshade, how are your bees in this cold? Like, are they still keeping themselves warm, or do you have to add a heater at this point? did you want to announce your change to your Patreon too?
Oh, what? Did you announce something?
What?
Or you were just talking? Oh, you were talking about yours.
Earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would I talk about yours?
No, I mean, you said announce.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
changes to your Patreon.
Nothing big. Just getting rid of everything.
You're not getting rid of everything.
I'm getting rid of everything that I've been giving, so I'm not doing postcards anymore. I'm not doing zines or buttons.
Oh, you are getting rid of everything.
Yeah.
Alright, never mind. Yes.
The only thing that's really staying is that ATC like thing, which there's one slot available right now. So every month you can get a ATC, a sketch card for $10 a month. But then what I'm going to be doing is role-playing assets for role-playing games. So if it's going to be like either an NPC or a monster that I'll be designing, and it'll have like a little story, some stat block, maybe, probably a stat block, and then also an item. And then eventually, once I get to learning more about spells and how those work exactly, then I'll probably start doing spells too.
I'm more intrigued. You actually said role-playing game instead of saying RPG.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
This is easier. Like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like that way there's no confusion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's because I feel like everyone, I don't know, to me it's like an RPG is like a video game. But if I say a role-playing game, then...
I'm a little sad because I was looking forward to your comics that were more biographical that you said you were going to do with your buttons. Are you still going to do those, or...?
That's the problem, is that where I was having problems like coming up with new things to talk about every month when I'm like busy working on creating things every month. And so since I'm already doing like at least 8 new little character cards every month, I figured, well, why don't I just take 1 or 2 or 3 of these and use that art as like a sort of like a sketch, and then, you know, so basically what I did is I took one of the cards, which was like little frog guy, and I just re-inked it, and I fixed some things that I knew were kind of wrong. I fixed some things, and then I digitally colored it so it was, you know, like higher grade.
Yeah, so Violin, I can always erase these because if you look at them, just in general, so this is how lightly I usually do my initial sketch. You can see that it's just that's about the line weight. But then once you know where everything's going to go, you go over it again. It's almost like inking your pencils with a pencil and do it harder, okay? Don't do it harder right away. We have this rule, it's the 80-20 rule, where for 80% of the piece, you do the entire piece, for the most part, really light. Figure out where everything's gonna go, erase and redraw as much as you need to lightly. Then when you've figured out the entire piece, go back through it and finalize your lines. Add your line widths, all that sort of stuff. Do that on the final phase. And you'll be a lot happier you did, because yeah, if you're doing it really deep, like if I was doing my heavy lines, like these ones now, and trying to erase those, that's not gonna happen. That's a lot harder. Also, thank you guys for the bits. Appreciate that. Oh no. Oh, Nightshade. Can't you put them like in the garage or something? Like put them in the garage and have a heater in the garage? Wouldn't that work?
Well, how do they survive during the real winters? Or I guess they just die.
Well, then how do new ones sprout up? I thought they actually had like the same system caterpillars did, where they've got like this antifreeze blood. Where caterpillars have this blood where they have like this element of antifreeze, where they don't fully, like they just go into a cryostasis basically, and they just freeze, and then when they thaw, they're alive again. I had no idea. I thought bees were the same way.
That, or I would imagine that they just all bundle up together and sort of just hibernate together and keep themselves warm.
That's what they were doing in the fall, but in negative temperatures, I don't think they can do it. Kitchen, we'd love to if we get some time. We'll hit you up about it. I'm sure Gabe would dig it.
Mhm.
We've never really done that before, so.
I think one of the toughest things is like to be able to sit with someone like physically
Mm-hmm.
and just get like all right, what are you doing here? Why did you do that? How does that work? Why is that happening? Let me look at your book. No, I'm the DM. Look, come on, let me just look at it. No.
Oh, you can't move the hive. Interesting.
Mm.
They bundle up and buzz their wings for you see it. Aww.
Buzz harder.
Row! Row! Poor babies.
On Vikings, they got to a point where like they had to like leave. You know, like they were in a battle and they're like, all right, we gotta. They
Yeah.
need to retreat.
Yeah, that was one of the times they started losing.
Yeah, but I expected him to say retreat, but he's like, run, and I'm like, oh no, run away.
I would almost say escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Nightshade, yes. At first I was like, oh, blah, 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 but I ended up loving it. Like, it's got highs and lows like any show. Like, some parts are better than others, but the parts that are good are good. And I really like that's on the History Channel. This is going to make me sound like a goody-goody prude. Just for the record, I am not a goody-goody prude. But I don't think, like, shows like Game of Thrones need gratuitous sex and nudity and all that stuff. Like, to have a good story, you don't need that. So I don't typically even like to watch that. I'm like, whatever, I'd rather just have story. So what I like is that Vikings is on the History Channel, which the History Channel has, let's be honest, has grown a little bit thin with what they're about. But it is still historically accurate. The whole series of Vikings is actually based on real Vikings, like their names and stuff, they actually existed. So it's like alternate history / somewhat basis. But yeah, I really like it. It's been good. They do flash forward in time pretty well. I appreciate that. Characters are pretty good. I'd say the first, what season are you on?
I just started 3.
The first 2 seasons are great. After 3, when they start going more places, it's still good, but it's not as exciting and solid as the first 2 are. But I think you'd like it, actually. Because you like Vikings as much as I do, so I think you'd dig it. Even Gabe digs it, so.
It's really good.
And there is a lot of, like I said, historical stuff in there. Like, I can take violence and gore way easier than I don't want to watch sex. Like, I feel like if sex was on TV, it's like, just go watch porn at that point. If that's what you're into, just go watch it. Like, it doesn't lend anything to story. So, violence and gore, though, I at least feel adds severity, you know, and also intellect. I feel like depending on torture things, it's going to depend on a culture, and it tells you a lot about a culture, how they torture people. I know that sounds messed up, but at the same time, think about it. From a, like, unobjective eye, how someone chooses to torture somebody can tell you a lot. Anyway, I think you'd dig it. And it's really smartly written in some areas, like the way they do twists and backstabbing. It's not your typical, like, Game of Thrones shit. Like, it makes Game of Thrones feel like Desperate Housewives, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of like, oh, well, I'm gonna sleep with your boyfriend, and then I'll be queen. You know, this is a little bit more serious than that. And it brings in a lot of different characters that I feel are deeper and different than characters in other shows. Thank you! Yeah! Oh, a nipple. Okay. Like, they don't even show butts. There is sex in Vikings. There is still a lot of sex in Vikings, but it's done tactfully, and if they do it, it's for a reason, and it comes back later as, like, an actual story element. And I was actually deciphering that, like, and holding it up to things like Game of Thrones. I'm like, this is so much more rich than this is. Like, it's gratuitous in Game of Thrones. Like, we get it. The Arrow is full of it, okay. But I really feel like with that show, they were really hitting on certain two demographics of, like, even the ones I was talking about, like, maybe even jock guys and, like, chicks who dig, you know, reality shows and stuff. Because, like, Cersei was a big hit for everyone I knew that just drinks wine all the time. You know, that sort of girl, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, give it a shot. If you have Prime, it's free on Prime. If you like the elements of Game of Thrones, but you do hate that it gets ridiculous, you'd appreciate this. Pretty sure. Right? Thank you, Lucy. Also, glad to see you. Thank you for, you know, joining the chat. But yeah, thank you for lurking anyway. But yeah, it's totally true. Like, it's getting... Once you had a show to kind of hold it up to, you know, be like, wow, that really is a little bit, like, too far. You know, or, yeah, that is really similar. Holy crap, you know. Because it's a lot more serious. Vikings is good in that respect, you know. Anyway, we've been enjoying it regardless. I think I'm on season 5? And they're canceling it, which sucks. But I did hear they're going to do an offshoot of it. But Gabe's on season 3. It is an easy one to binge. Like, it feels like a book. Like how the chapters are done / episodes, you know? It really wraps up nicely and leads into the next thing pretty good. Yeah, give it a shot. Like, the first couple of episodes really set the mood of the place. Would you say maybe by the 3rd episode you kind of, like, were invested?
Yeah.
Because it's establishing characters right away. Like, Floki's a boat builder. Where does Ragnar stand? Who is he? Like, it builds them up. But also keep in mind, these were real people, which is cool. You know, so the kids they have and stuff like that, you can actually look up on Wikipedia who they were. But don't, because spoilers, you know. But still, it's kind of cool. Honey, you gonna wake up? Do you want to be in camera? Is that a no? Oh, she's giving me this look like, Mama, stop talking to me. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you're drawing too. Hey, if you want to share your social media stuff, feel free. This is a very art-friendly community here. Hi, honey. Eve, do you want to hand it to me and I'll show it? You guys want to see the pup? Come here, honey. She's hefty. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, hi. You been sleeping? You been sleeping? Hi. Oh, you're still sleeping. Oh, honey. You want to go back to sleep? Yeah. Okay. You take a bite. Good girl. She might have to go potty because she got up. Good girl, honey.
You wanna go potty?
Potty, honey, potty. You go potty? She's been sleeping all day. We kept her up. Yeah, she does give kisses. Actually, for anybody that doesn't know, you can see the puppy pee pads in the back. If you get a puppy or dog that our breeder was great, the only thing that I would kind of critique her on is that she played with the puppies with her hands. And one of the things I learned early on years ago was that you never use your hand as the toy, okay? Because then they're always going to be bitey at your hands, right? So she had done that, so I had to unlearn that with her, which I would give her treats after saying kisses, and when she licks, give her a treat. Say, yeah, kisses, good, you know? And then if she bites, say, no bite, you know? Then they start learning. And then eventually they'll learn that, you know, licks for the hands and not biting. But, oh, bye, Kitchen. Thanks for coming. If anybody wants to follow her Instagram, we've put up some pretty cute videos and pictures, but yeah, so now if I say kisses, she does licks. She's very smart already. She's 13 weeks old and almost 20 pounds. So she probably put on 2 pounds since the vet.
Yeah.
I would guess. But she is a good girl. Hey, Lights and Sea. Oh, Nightshade, enjoy it. Let me know how you like it, okay? Exactly, Lucy, you get it. Yeah. It seems obvious once you say it, but like I didn't want to tell her, you know, her being my breeder, that like, hey, you know, and we're big on like rescuing dogs too, but in this case it was a breeder scenario. We basically think, hey, if you want a breeder, fine. If you want to rescue, awesome. Just don't buy from a puppy mill. And puppy mills honestly are scary because you might think you're buying from a breeder when really it's a puppy mill. So anybody that is going for a dog that's from a breeder, make sure you're doing your homework. There are a lot of red flags that you can look for, but you really have to do your research or else you might accidentally be buying from a puppy mill. So yeah, if anybody has Amazon Prime, you should be able to watch Vikings for free. What is a puppy mill? Okay, so Eliza, puppy mills are basically setups. A lot of times it's on a farm, but it's a setup basically where there are dogs that are meant to keep giving litters, and they're kept in really bad conditions, and the puppies themselves are taken care of very poorly because they're making so many litters at a time that it's bad for the dogs giving the births. They're not taken care of properly. The puppies end up having, you know, defects, being malnourished, all this sort of stuff. Usually they end up being sold to pet stores. So if you buy from like Petco or PetSmart or just a regular pet store, a lot of the time those are puppy mill like scenarios with cats and dogs and stuff. However, recently California just passed a law that any puppies or cats that are sold in a pet store have to be rescues. Like they have to be from shelters. That way they're eliminating puppy mills for the most part, which is really good. So I didn't see it on Hulu. I don't think Vikings is on Hulu. And have you seen it when we've been going through it?
So.
I don't think it is. They might have taken it off it. But it's for sure on Prime because you're watching it today. So you could probably check Hulu, but I haven't seen it on there, honestly. But yeah, puppy mills are not a good thing. It's basically how, like, if you know anything about the cattle industry or chickens and how, you know, they're handled, it's basically that, but for dogs and cats and stuff. So, like, especially if you're looking at bulldogs, French bulldogs, any sort of high-tier dog, you know, that people are always looking for breeders, if you're getting them under a certain amount, like if they're being sold for cheap, usually under what their normal price should be, it's probably from a puppy mill. So that's one of the red flags you gotta look for. It's getting harder though because a lot of Facebook pages are getting a little bit more smart about how they're presenting themselves. However, if you find a good breeder on a Facebook page, they're usually doing like daily updates. They only have a litter or two at a time, usually just one, like maybe twice a year a litter. And they pay close attention to each puppy. They're usually giving each one like their spotlight, that sort of thing. It's a lot more intimate of an experience, and you can learn a lot about the owners and stuff just from their Facebook page. If you go to a Facebook page that has all these different looking dogs and none of them are really named, or if they are, it's like sporadic here and there and it's updated really sparsely, there's no real like brand to it, that's probably a puppy mill. And honestly, I hate to say this, but certain areas are almost a red flag for a puppy mill. Like I think like Kansas, Missouri, like that area has a lot of puppy mills. So I mean, you can buy from that area, but be very, very careful and do your research. It can get kind of rough. Like, you have to know how much a normal dog is at their price. Usually $1,500 or less for like a bulldog. It's not real then. If you're getting it straight from a breeder. The best thing you can do is actually join groups that are for that breed and ask them about reputable breeders that they know of. Because support groups, that way they'll have done the research for you, and a lot will have like really solid recommendations and people to talk to regarding whatever breed you're looking for. But like I said, if you don't have a thing for a specific breed, go rescue someone, you know. If you're just looking for a companion, go for a rescue. I don't think it's ever fair to say people who buy breeding dogs are bad. I think if they're ill-informed, that's bad. And if they're, just doing it for notoriety, it's bad. Some people buy high-tier dogs just to have a high-tier dog. That's obviously that's like people having babies just to have a baby. To have that, well, my friends are having babies, so maybe I should have a baby. Same thing. So don't be that guy. Oh, you stinky. I can smell you from here. You are stinky. What's a Sammy, Eliza? What is that? I've never heard of that. Here's rendering, and here's not rendering. These are marker flats and only marker flats, and this is with some rendering already done. So all this is just a little bit of white, and then some of the brown color rays. However, I would never just leave the white here, because things typically aren't shaded with white, like the spectral highlights. I'm going to go over it again with a more saturated version of this color on the white areas, and it's going to pop it better. Oh, a Samoyed! Oh! They're so pretty. They're good dogs, too. Definitely. Yeah, you might have to go colder. I don't know, they're probably okay, though. Yeah, I love Samoyeds. They're beautiful.
That's the kind of dog that we used to babysit. But I think that one had a purple tongue, so I don't know what else it was bred with.
Polar bear? I don't think, Eliza, I think you can have those in any climate. You just have to make sure they don't get too hot. So, like, bulldogs can overheat and stuff too. You just have to know the warning signs and things like that. But I've seen Samoyeds around. I think you could.
Oh, it was mixed with a chow, that's what it was.
Hi, Kristen. Welcome back. How was Taekwondo? Did you girls kick booty? I mean, if people can have Malamutes and, like, Huskies and stuff and Mastiffs, I think you'd be okay with having a Samoyed wherever you are. Like I said, you just have to probably be knowledgeable about their restrictions and stuff. Because usually if, like, a dog's overheating, their tongue will turn bright red or start purpling. They'll be panting a lot. Their skin color changes, stuff like that. What do you think of mixed wild cat breeds, like the domestic cats that look like leopards? I think it's interesting. I saw a Serengeti mixed with what was it? A Serengeti mixed with I forget what it was. It was a video that was viral today. But I think as long as it's, like, done in a healthy way, and they're treated well. I think it's probably fine. I think the owners, though, similar to any breed, need to know that specific breed's restrictions and, you know, what they can and can't do or shouldn't do, or like their hot buttons. If they are more wild than normal, then yeah, you gotta be aware of that. Because yeah, there are a lot of big cats lately being bred. I've noticed that, like a lot of crossbreeding with those wild cats, where these cats are getting big, you know, and they're just house cats, but because they're being crossbred, they're getting huge. So I feel like it comes down pretty hard to the owners and making sure that the owners are smart. I don't know. It's really tough. Oh, do you? Kristen, I think you told me that and I totally forgot. Do you do that while they're doing the kid class? That'd be really cute. Then everybody kind of wins, huh? I mean, violin, like ethically speaking, I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. Like, I can't see a problem with it. I mean, as long as it's not deteriorating, like, their health or anything. I mean, granted, this is coming from me, who owns a bulldog, but, I don't know, I was just gonna keep going for a bit. I am getting hungry, so maybe, I really don't know, honestly. Should we stop soon?
Sure.
Or do you want to keep, because I can keep going. Like, how hungry are you on 1 to 10?
I mean, I'm getting there.
So like a 7?
Yeah. But I mean, I could just eat something.
Well, no, because I'm going to make that meal.
Yeah, no. That's what I meant though. I could just eat something else and then you could have that tomorrow. But if you really want it today.
Well, I can make myself a single serving too. And just show you how to make it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe just have some chips right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll be fine.
Okay. I don't know, maybe another hour at most. Yeah, Savannah. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Savannah mixed with a Serengeti. Or Serengi? Shit. I forgot what it was. It was a Savannah mixed, I think, with a Serengi. It's a long damn cat. So what do you do, what do they do when you're doing the Taekwondo? Alright, Mai, thanks for coming when you did, though. It's great seeing you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Liza, you can hear her. She's very tired today. Oh, thank you, Mai. You too. Here, I'm gonna actually find you guys the video I saw today. Because, first of all, I need to know if it was what the names were. But, yeah, they were really big cats. Here I am saying Serengeti, and that's like a desert. Oh, it is a Serengeti cat. Oh. Oh. Happy to know my brain was right. Maybe it was a Serengeti mixed with a Bengal. want to say Bengal, but then I was like, oh, that's a tiger, Ashley. But maybe it was a Bengal. Oh, it's a caracal and a Serengeti. Yeah, this is what I saw today. Oh man, I was so off. Okay, caracal. Bobcat though, how did she take care of that, and how long did she have it? That's crazy. I always do get a little bit like scared though when people see my dog and then they're like, oh my god, I've always wanted a bulldog too. I should get a bulldog, and I have to like pump the brakes and kind of give them a little bit of a lecture, because as far as dog breeds go, bulldogs are very high maintenance, and I think a lot of people think they're not, like they're like having a lab or something. Very, very wrong. You have to basically know that you're going to have a toddler for their entire life. And I'm totally about that. Like, I am at the age where I would be having kids, but I don't want kids. So this is kind of perfect for me, because I get to actually dote and care for something, but it's not a kid. So that fits my situation really well. But for other people, like, that just are like, oh, I just want a bulldog. It's like, no, dude. You gotta think about this. Go watch some videos about, their care and stuff. See if you actually want to do that. Because there's a lot entailed. Like, we have dog insurance, too, for her. Because, they're also known for not being the most healthy breed. So you have to be prepared to, pay for their med bills and stuff in case something happens. So if you know anyone who's like, oh, I want a bulldog, please, please, please tell them to do their research first. And especially if they don't do their research at all, they're probably going to accidentally get a puppy mill one anyway. So make sure they do research regardless to find out, or if, send them my way if you know they're kind of shit at doing research. I just want to make sure they get the right, info. It's very important. Did the bobcat just end up leaving one day, Violet, or what happened? That's crazy. Kristen, I didn't even know you had a Savannah. Did you tell me that? I know we talked about your dogs. I think you had dogs, if I remember right. I don't remember your cat. I mean, to be completely honest, having a bulldog is like having a special needs dog, for the most part. But, yeah, if I had to, like, put it into simpler terms, that'd be probably the easiest way to say it. So if you're not prepared for that, money plunge or, that much maintenance, because there are a lot of daily things you have to perform to take care of them. But I like doing those things, so I'm okay with it. I mean, Gabe, you'd say it's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not a hands-off dog.
Yeah, I mean, like most dogs, you don't have to, like I'd say 99% of dogs, you don't have to wipe their butts when they're done.
I think you should, though. Honestly, if I ever got, like, a regular dog again, I would just wipe their butt knowing how much, like, is still on their butt after going to the bathroom. Because a lot of dogs probably still have a lot on their butt when they come inside. So, just for my couch and my legs' sake, I would clean their butts still. But like even the risk of infections with the bulldogs is pretty high. He ran away. Oh. I mean, he's a wildcat. Gotta move on. So is he like 2 feet long, Kristen? Like half your body, maybe? That's a big damn cat. Do your girls love him? I bet they love having a cat that big. If I had a cat again, if I could have cats, I'd probably get a Persian again. I had a Persian before I got, before my cat allergies, like, developed. Because I wasn't always allergic to cats. I got allergic to cats eventually. I grew up with like 7 cats, but I'm allergic now. But anyway, if I could, I'd probably get a Persian. Just because I like silly, ugly looking animals a lot. I just think they're interesting. I don't like basic looking things. And maybe that's also because I draw them all the time, but that I would want something more interesting. Like I got this Frenchie commission once where his eyes were completely wrong. Like they were going not even just wall-eyed, but one was like up and the other was weird. So when I drew him, he looked wrong. Like it looked like I drew him really wrong, but I didn't. That's just how he looked. So I thought it was more funny. And it was fun to draw one that was a little bit silly like that. I do like hearing owners gush about their pets though that are like, they've got the most basic looking pet in the world, but like they gush about them still and like, oh, they do this and they do this, and it's like, good. You know, I'm glad you like your pet. You should like your pet. Oh wow, he is big. It's crazy. That'd probably go up to my hips. Maybe. No, that'd be like 3 feet. It still sounds long. Alright, now I have to go to the bathroom too. So maybe we should stop for today. What day is it? Thursday? Are you gonna stream Monday?
Yeah.
Alright, I think we're gonna go. So I have to eat and go to the bathroom, so that's pretty good matchup for quitting. Hex Hero, thank you for the follow. Welcome. So I stream every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central, right here. And then the voice you've been hearing the whole time is Gabe. He is Galvasaur. Maybe you want to put your Twitch in.
Yeah.
He streams every Monday at 4 p.m. CST. So we both stream same time, once weekly. He's on Mondays, I'm on Thursdays. So you're welcome, Bylan, anytime. Anytime. So hopefully you guys have fun. Thank you for watching me draw cats. If anybody is interested where to follow me online, here are my socials. I'm basically Cloverkin everywhere. My primary is Instagram. I have some fun Patreon things if you want to check that out. Yeah, otherwise every Thursday. And I guess we'll see you next time. Maybe we'll see you Monday at Gabe Stream. So thanks for coming, guys. See you next time. Have a good weekend. Bye!